It's almost ready for game time and kickoff from Anderson Field in Milton. Welcome, it's Wisconsin 57 Sports. I'm Sean Smith with Mark Martinez. Mark, good evening. How you doing tonight?
Doing great. Lovely night for high school football again.
It sure is, man. Nothing like a Friday coming out. It's getting a little bit crisp. Halfway through October. Have you got your Halloween costume picked out yet?
Oh, I got one every year. I'm always Batman.
You're always Batman?
Yeah.
Does a little signal go up in the sky?
Once in a while it does, or the red phone gets called, but I'm ready to go.
All right, so we got Milton, the Red Hawks, hosting the Edgewood Crusaders tonight. And what do you anticipate happening this evening?
Well, Badgers South Conference rivals here, both of them at the bottom of the conference standings, but they're looking to get a win in their last conference game of the year. Seniors are playing for their last game, a lot of emotion on the line, so I'm looking for a good contest this evening.
Absolutely, and there's been some high-scoring contests here recently. I kind of got the feeling that you want to be the team that has the ball last in this one, don't you think?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, both teams kind of realized they could throw the ball. They got good quarterbacks, good receivers, skilled players. Might not have the biggest running games on either side of the ball for this game tonight, but they're going to throw it. We could see some pinball-like numbers this evening because the weather conditions are perfect for a game like that tonight.
And don't forget, we'll have the Anderson for Senate MVP coming up towards the end of the ball game as well. It's the A-1 Furniture and Mattress Bowl Series as we continue. The Cheese Bowl is right here. Somebody gets this trophy. We'll have kickoff coming up shortly. It's the Milton Red Hawks hosting the Edgewood Crusaders on Wisconsin's 57 Sports. Welcome back to Wisconsin 57 Sports. We're in Milton today with the Milton Red Hawks hosting the Edgewood Crusaders. And tonight we've got head coach Al Minard's turn here. And, man, Al, we got to start with last week. MG, a pretty darn good squad there. And, boy, you guys almost got them but fell short by a point. What kind of positives can we build off of that tough loss last week?
Well, I thought we played really hard. We played well for the most part. Unfortunately, we just came up short, about a foot short from getting a two-point conversion and making tonight worth getting into a playoff. But oh, we're just like Milton. We're playing for pride, and last game for our seniors and our last chance this year to line up and play football.
Coach, what's the pulse of the team as they go into this final contest here tonight?
Well, you know, we're disappointed it's not playing for bigger stakes, but, you know, we have great kids who have worked really hard. They're excited to play tonight.
All right, certainly. You've been doing this for 25 years. And what do you like best about coming out on Friday nights and coaching high school football?
I just love being around the kids and helping them grow as young men. You know, I've been at it for a long time. This is my 36th year overall, 25 at Edgewood.
All right, that is Coach Al Minard, and he's from the Edgewood Crusaders. Thanks so much, Coach, for joining us, and good luck tonight.
Thank you, and thanks for all you do and sponsoring the Cheese Bowl.
Absolutely, the Cheese Bowl. It's going to wrap things up for the season here for us, and it's the A-1 Mattress and Furniture Bowl Series, the battle for the Cheese Bowl. We'll find a winner. We'll find a loser. We'll have an MVP. We'll go over all the important plays of the game and also hand out a trophy after the game. Mark Martinez will join me with color work later on today. We'll get ready for kickoff. It's going to be the Milton Red Hawks hosting the Edgewood Crusaders in the battle for the Cheese Bowl on Wisconsin's 57 Sports. Greetings from Anderson Field and home of the Milton Red Hawks. It's Sean Smith here with Wisconsin 57 Sports, filling in for Rich Reynolds. We'll hear from Mark Martinez later on. First up, we're going to talk to the home coach, and it's Coach Lee. Coach Lee, been a bit of a tough year for you so far, but coming here for your final night, I'm sure there's some things that you're hoping the seniors can leave with a good taste in their mouth. What do you think are some of the keys for you getting a big W tonight?
We really focused on not turning the football over. Having great in kicking games. Sometimes that's hurt us this year, so we've really been focusing on that, and then just coming out and playing with some enthusiasm.
Sure. So, Coach, you're the leader, head coach here nowadays, and probably have some reflections here as we get close to your first full season. What are you most proud of? Because I know it's been tough to find wins this year, but there's got to be some things that you feel good about for the foundation of this program here in Milton.
Yeah, I'm really proud of how hard the athletes play every week. Like, it's easy to get discouraged, especially when the ball isn't bouncing your way, but we come out and play hard every night.
All right, and how about let's get back to some of the keys to victory, and I think it's going to probably go with that quarterback and wide receiver tandem that you have going on. Talk a little bit about those two gentlemen.
Yeah, Isaac Phillips, quarterback, he had a pretty good game last week, controlled the football, made some great throws, so hoping he continues that tonight. Receiving core, we try and spread it around depending on how they play us. Last week, Ethan Hansing had a bunch of catches just because they were giving us that look. So we'll try and take advantage of whatever they give us.
All right, that's Coach Matt Lee with the Milton Redhawks. Good luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you.
And we'll try to get from the other side of the coin as we will talk to the opposing coach here tonight, which is the coach of the Edgewood Crusaders. That's all upcoming next on Wisconsin's 57 Sports, the A-1 Furniture and Mattress Bowl Series.
All right, it's football time. It's high school football bowl series time to be exact, and it's time to tailgate. Also, we're tailgating with Blowin' Smoke Barbecue, and I'm joined by owner Robert Bishop, and I'm so glad to see you.
Hi, nice to see you too, Jessa.
Okay, you got such a great menu, but we're gonna focus specifically on great tailgating items.
Right.
So let's start with the food.
Okay.
Talk to me about what's here.
Well, let's see, we make all these from scratch. First of all, we have our deep fried mushrooms.
Oh my God.
We cook these in a little bit of beer with some fresh rosemary and thyme.
Okay.
Then we batter them, deep fry them, serve them with ranch, chipotle mayo, and our horsey sauce.
I'm a sauce junkie, so I love that it comes with 3 options. But also when you're tailgating, I love that you actually kind of marinate it in some beer, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wisconsin's got to have a little beer. And I'm
Yeah.
from Kansas City, so we know our tailgating. While you got the meat on the grill, you got to have something to nibble on, little finger foods.
You've got it,
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly.
So this is a great finger food for tailgating, and you do all kinds of wonderful things. So we got more. Let's keep. I'm going to start
These are
sampling
our
in a
buffalo
minute.
chicken cheese balls.
Okay.
It's
Oh my
we
gosh.
take chicken, chop it up,
Yeah.
add buffalo sauce, little mozzarella, cheddar cheese, cream cheese, batter them up. Boom,
Okay.
delicious.
I
Melt in
can't
your
wait
mouth.
anymore. I'm going to start
Okay.
trying things while you walk
Yep,
me
so-
through.
okay.
But this one of my favorites.
Here we've got
Little
our
ranch dip.
homemade onion rings.
Okay.
Just a buttermilk batter, basic,
Mm-hmm.
just delicious.
Mm.
Everybody loves onion rings. These are our original cheese balls, and they're just they're basically the same as the buffalo, but without the chicken and the buffalo sauce.
Oh, okay.
Original, have a little bit of Italian seasonings in there, a little nice little zing.
I'll try them back to back for you
Okay.
folks at home and let you know. Can I dip this one too?
You
Is that
betcha.
okay?
You
know
betcha.
I like to dip.
Over here we have our these are our potato skins. Potato, just cut them up, deep fry them, with a little home fry seasoning, a little cheese and onion on top. Great for nibbling.
There's a lot of cheese items here.
lot of cheese,
You
yes.
know I'm a fan of that. But
Everybody's a
perfect
fan
for
of cheese.
Wisconsin.
Right.
And you got one more.
We got one more. These are jalapeno poppers. Take the jalapeno, cut them, de-seed them. We fill them with a chipotle cream cheese, very spicy. Top them off with our homemade, our own bacon.
Oh my gosh.
And then you're gonna have to wash that down with a beer because these babies have a kick.
Yeah, you got a couple of great beers here. So you serve beer here as well.
You got beer and wine. These are from our neighbors right across the street, Occupy Brewing.
All right.
So we've had a
You're-
great relationship with those guys.
Your buddies, you know why?
Yeah.
Because what goes better with barbecue
Exactly, yeah.
than a good ice cold beer? And
Yeah,
with
especially when you're
tailgating,
tailgating,
too.
exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
you got it. So you can tailgate with Blowin' Smoke in a variety of ways. One is you're going to be showing, basically whatever football games are going on throughout the
Right,
season.
yep.
We'll have high school right here at Blowin' Smoke Barbecue. You can come catch the bowl series.
Yep.
Here at Blowin' Smoke Barbecue, and of course have some fantastic food. But you'll turn on the Packers and the Badgers, even though you're a
you
Chiefs
betcha.
fan, right?
Oh, I just love football.
Absolutely.
Any game,
Football
all
fan
weekend. Yep.
and a tailgating fan yourself. Now, another thing I want to mention too, if you're tailgating, if you're having any kind of party for the summer, for football, what have you, you guys have some incredible catering.
Exactly.
And I think that's something to let folks know, because the catering is outstanding, a wonderful catering menu. The prices here are great. So talk to us a little bit about your capabilities with catering. How many people
Well, we can
you
do
serve?
anywhere from 10 to 2,000.
Oh my gosh.
If you need a party,
That'd
come
be
at
a
the last
really
minute,
big
you want to head
tailgate.
out to tailgate at the game
Yeah.
or the Badgers, give us a call. We can have some meat heated up and some sides. Take it out there and just say you cooked it yourself, will be fine.
Absolutely. Well, I don't know. I don't have 2,000 friends, I don't think, that would show up for tailgating. But if you're out there, hey, order a whole bunch and invite your friends.
There you go.
You'll
There you
make
go.
friends really fast. I love it. Well, this has been so much fun. What a great way to start the football game. I'm going to finish my cheese balls as we go out to break here. But Robert Bishop, Blow and Smoke Barbecue. Come on out here. They're in Wanakee. It's a great short drive if you're in Madison, an easy drive for surrounding areas. Come here, watch the game, have some great barbecue, tailgate with your friends, and we just really appreciate it, Robert.
Well,
thank you so much.
much, Jessa.
All right, we're getting into football. Stick with us. We're here at the High School Football Bowl Series. This is Blow and Smoke Barbecue's Tailgating.
Welcome to Anderson Field here in Milton, Wisconsin. It's the Milton Red Hawks taking on the visiting Edgewood Crusaders as we wrap up our bowl series here on Channel 57 of Wisconsin Sports. Getting ready for kickoff. I'm Sean Smith here with Mark Martinez. And Mark, my oh my, nice chilly evening tonight. Kind of makes it feel like good night for football, huh? Good evening.
It doesn't get any better than this for the weather on the a Friday night light game. You got to respect that and love it. As far as the Cheese Bowl's going, we had the Cheesemakers last week. We'll take the Cheese Bowl this week, Sean.
Yeah, we certainly will. So it's the Red Hawks. They're going to be in the red jerseys with the white lettering and the black pants. And then we got the Edgewood Crusaders. They're across the field from us with the white jerseys and the gold helmets. Kickoff coming up in just a moment. Busy weekend of sports. I know a lot of people are excited about what the Buckeyes and Badgers are going to do tomorrow. And then, on Sunday, we've got the Packers and the Cowboys. But Friday night kicks off the weekend in style with a battle for the A-1 Furniture Cheese Bowl here at Anderson Field. Man, both these teams been kind of on a bit of a bad run as of late, Mark, and just kind of hoping to get off the schneid and get another W in the win column, huh?
Well, you know, they're not vying for a conference championship, so neither of them are going after that. But, you know, it's another football game. You only get 9 of these contests throughout your season. So these seniors, this is a meaningful game for them tonight, even with not a lot riding on it. There's a lot of pride on there. And last game for these seniors on their home game for the Red Hawks, as well as for the Edgewood seniors. And they're looking to end their season and their careers on a good note.
And the Crusaders appear to be kicking off here. It'll be going right to left on your screen. And the host Red Hawks, not the Red Sox, not Major League Baseball playoff time. We're doing high school football here tonight, so can't wait for the kickoff. We've heard from Old Glory in the national anthem, and the A-1 Furniture and Mattress Bowl Series continues and wraps up tonight with Edgewood visiting at Milton. Don't forget, we'll have the U.S. Senate MVP Player Award, and we'll also give away that great Cheese Bowl trophy as we're ready to kick off here from Anderson Field in Milton, Wisconsin. The Crusaders kicking to the Red Hawks. And it's coming out from the goal line. It's number 7 for Milton. Finds some holes. He's scooting to the outside, and it looks like the Red Hawks will be starting with pretty good field position close to their 35.
Sean, last week Milton had a lot of success throwing the ball. They have a senior quarterback, 6'3", 205-pound, Isaac Phillips. He threw for almost 300 yards last week and 4 touchdowns. We'll see if they go back to the almost that air raid, spread it out offense that they run and put some points on the board tonight.
Certainly, and Coach Lee said no interceptions also, and that's going to be a key here tonight as both these teams looking for the win. Shotgun snap. It's handed off to 10 around Ed, and boy, he's got some room to run. Looks like the Red Hawks could have an early first down right out of the shoe, a gain of 15 yards, and that'll move the chains early here for the Red Hawks.
So their rushing attack, they have a number of runners who've rushed for at least 200 yards, 4 of them as a matter of fact. And number 10, the carrier right there, Ethan Hansing's been their leading rusher with 500 yards on the season so far.
Alrighty, so 1st and 10 across the 50. Hankey's already going up in the air. The Red Hawks are clapping. They appear to think it's against the Crusaders.
Looked like it was a false start there, but offsides on the Crusaders. You're right, Sean.
Okay, so they're going to go a little closer to the Crusaders' goal line and make things a little bit easier. 1st and 5 for the Red Hawks. Thank you to Mr. Paul Canarella and the good people over at A-1 Furniture for supporting high school athletics again this season as our official Bowl Series sponsor. A-1 Furniture and Mattress, your premier mattress and furniture store. 1st and 5 in Crusaders territory. Motion from the left. It's handed off and goes up the middle. Not sure, Mark, if they're going to have a first down there. It's looking pretty darn close.
Well, they come out and spread right with an ace back in the backfield, and a lot of times people think that's a throwing formation, and it pretty much is. But you can do some inside running with that as you get the defense spread across sideline to sideline, opens up some of the holes in between the tackles, and they're almost had enough there to pick up the first down.
Certainly in 2nd and 1 puts you in a good down and distance situation for the offense as quarterback drops back for the snap. Time to throw. A nice spiral deep. Looks like he might have overshot his receiver, number 3 there by a few yards.
Noah Phillips there. He was open on the post, just overthrew it a little bit. Probably the ball's coming a little hot out of his hand with his first pass of the evening. If he puts that on it, he's coasting into the end zone, something they'll probably come back to.
A little chilly here, too, and a little bit chilly and windy as well, so we'll see how that affects the throwing game as it's 3rd and short for the Redhawks. Looks like a run up the gut, and I'm not sure if they got it there, Mark.
I don't think so. They went pistol and just tried to run a quick dive play to see if they could get that last 2 yards, but the defensive end for the Crusaders crashed down unblocked, made the tackle in the backfield.
So it's going to be 4th and short here, and Coach Lee and company going to have to decide what they're going to do. They're going to punt away.
Might as well go for it.
Might as well go for it. Roll the dice. You roll the dice, you take your chances. Going to use all 4 downs to see if they can move the chains here. Could be changing the plays to see the quarterback checking out his wristband there. Isaac Phillips, who Mark brought up earlier. And they hand it up the middle, and it looks like they're going to get the first down and then some.
Similar play, just a double tight pistol formation. Just try to hit a quick dive up the middle, see if you can get a push by your line. They did there, able to get the first down. Now they come out to the no huddle.
And 1st and 10 from the 35 of Edgewood. As the Redhawks on a bit of a roll. Shotgun snap. Another hand up the middle. Going to get a few yards there. 2nd down, and I'm guessing 8, 9. No, it looks like they got a few more there. Maybe 2nd down and 6.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
Shotgun snap once again, running back to the left. Quick pitch to number 3, makes the first guy miss.
Phillips to Phillips.
But the Crusaders do pursue with a couple of white shirts, stopping him shy of the first down marker.
Staple out of the spread formation is a quick hitch to your outside receiver. That inside receiver just goes and tries to block the outside cornerback there and see if you can get a bust, but the defender played that really well, made a nice tackle.
It's 3rd and about 3. As Phillips looks to the sideline and once again on his wristband. Could be changing the play here. Gets the snap, handoff up the middle to 33. And he kind of bulldozes his way. I think we might be moving the chains one more time there for Milton.
Certainly, and I think the Redhawks found something with that running game inside. They look like their offensive line has a little bit more size and heft than the Crusaders, and they're running it inside.
And here's the snap, 1st and 10 as they approach closer and closer to the goal line for Edgewood's Crusaders. Not much there on 1st down.
And they continue to go with this tempo, which doesn't allow the defense to change their personnel. Gets them kind of on their heels a little bit, and you can see all the offensive guys looking at their wristbands as they call out the play.
Hoping to tire out that defense for Edgewood, keeping them on the field, not letting them substitute their sub packages. Rolls out left, nice toss, good catch on his shoe tops. Number 10, not a big guy, but he got a few extra yards and again got bulldozed.
Ethan Hansing just did a nice out route there. Pretty pass. Right on his fingertips, turned it upfield, actually ran over one defender and able to get the first down and then some.
Yeah, and last week in losing fashion, 14 catches, 158 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So they like the Phillips-Hansing connection. Keep an eye on 5 to 10.
Well, I think they're saying there was a turnover there.
Well, we did see some of the Crusaders. We'll see if we can get a replay here. They were pointing the other way as number 10 was battling for extra yardage, and it looked like he got nailed out of bounds.
I think when he bulldozed that guy, the next guy that came in must have popped the ball out of there. There was a little bit of a scrum. We didn't see like anybody jumping demonstratively from way over where we're sitting. And but apparently, Crusaders came up with the ball.
Yes, well, a good first drive for the Redhawks of Milton, but it stalls inside Edgewood's 10-yard line. And the Crusaders going to have to go about 90 yards for pay dirt.
Huge defensive
1st and 10
stop there.
Certainly.
Comes a late player running on the field on offense for Edgewood. The last second, of course, it's their tailback.
Will Sweta behind center. He's handing it off, trying to go up the middle. And it looks like a whole host of red jerseys there. I don't think he got too much there on 1st down, Mark.
So Edgewood is 1-4 in conference in the Badger South, 2-6 overall. Last week they lost a heartbreaker, 42-41 against Monona Grove, which is in second place in the conference. They went for the 2-point conversion at the end of the game, didn't make it. But you know, you got nothing to lose when you're going up against one of the top teams. They were going for the win. You got to respect that from their coach. And you know, it was a chance to win it. They went for it, didn't quite get it, but we'll see if they come out tonight with guns a-blazing.
Certainly, and they are ready for the snap. Second down and long. It's a hand up off the middle. A little bit more room here, Mark. Number 22 getting the run there.
32, Max Simon with the carry.
A little bit of an end around there, but he ended up cutting it up the gut. He was the wing back on that and came shooting through the middle there and thought he was going to pop it loose, but he got a nice little 6-7 yard gain.
Thanks to Prairie Land Towing for those replays for us this evening. And it's going to be third and about 3 or 4 as Edgewood looks for their first down of the contest here from Anderson Field. Swida behind center. Motion towards us. Trying to bounce it outside is 24, or is that 34 it looks like. Bit smaller numbers on the jerseys, it appears, of the white-shirted Crusaders over the red-shirted Redhawks of Milton.
34, Sean, that's Fred Richards, 6 foot, 235-pound fullback, carrying it around the edge there. So he's going to be bringing the wood tonight.
Big difference between the R and the B running back there and the F and the B, the big fullback there. And that's moving the chains for the Crusaders as they build some momentum with 6:40 here remaining in the first quarter from Anderson Field and the A-1 Mattress and Furniture Bowl Series here in Milton. Wide receiver up top and at the bottom. And they run the ball around the right end. 22 spinning a little bit.
They line up in that wing T formation with the tailback to the left. They fake the dive to the left and then end around essentially with the tailback coming across the formation. Staple out of the wing T offense there. Picked up a nice 5 yards there. Puts you in good 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6 down in distance.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of options there. You can kind of run the ball, you can throw the ball. You'll take 5 yards on first down every time, won't you?
Absolutely, sure will.
So Sweta has 6 touchdowns on the season and 9 interceptions, so I can guarantee you Edgewood going to want to take care of business with the football today. A bit of a shovel pass there, round to the right side. Looks like number 8 with the pickup.
Jack McNeil, big target on the shovel pass, 6'5", 250-pound tight end. He's only a junior, but he caught that little shovel pass coming underneath. And it looks like he's down. What might have an injury timeout, Sean.
Okay. Thanks to Dale Hicks and the team at Courtesy Ford in Sauk Prairie for the support again this year. Courtesy Ford, your new truck destination. At Courtesy Ford, it's courtesy that counts. All right, it is 0-0 with 5:55 remaining in the first quarter. The Milton Redhawks on Parents' Night hosting the Edgewood Crusaders. We'll have more with Wisconsin 57 Sports in just a moment. And welcome back. Tonight's game, the 2016 Cheese Bowl, being recorded by Channel 57 Sports Television. It will be replayed on Channel 57 Sports at the following time, Saturday at 6 p.m. and Sunday at 1 p.m. Channel 57 Sports available on all cable and satellite providers and for free over the air. From Milton, Wisconsin, it's the Redhawks taking on the visiting Edgewood Crusaders. Mark Martinez with me. I'm Sean Smith. Thanks for joining us. 5:55 to go here, and it looks like we've got some injured players getting out the field. And what have you noticed so far here through about the first half of the first quarter, Mark?
Well, it looks like the Redhawks were really moving the ball down the field, got into the red zone, and then had a turnover that was really difficult to see. So Edgewood's got to feel a little bit fortunate that they're able to get the ball back, but they're moving the ball themselves, and we'll see if they can capitalize.
All right, 3rd and 3 with the clock spinning and 5:49 remaining in the first quarter. And from the shotgun, he's going to hand it off, go up the middle, and holy cow, a whole host of red jerseys there. They're going to have some decisions to make on 4th down for the Edgewood Crusaders as the quarterback comes walking to the sideline. It looks like the punt unit's coming out.
Yeah, I was going to say, Sean, you know, looking at both these teams being 2-6, 1-4 in conference, we're going to see a lot of times going for it on 4th down because they really got nothing to lose. But this early in the ball game, 4th and 4 on your side of the field, smart thing to do is punt it away.
Yeah, now, boy, take a look at that punter back there. I haven't seen a punter that big in quite some time.
That's a thick one. That
sure is. And a high snap, kind of rainbowing. And it looks like we might have some flags on the field.
False start. Edgewood.
And the Crusaders could be going back and having a tougher go of it here. Would go from 4th and 3 to 4th and 8. And that's the way the referees are walking them back. Beautiful evening for football. Exciting for all the student athletes. Got Parents' Night here tonight at Anderson Field for the Red Hawks of Milton. And Edgewood Crusaders with the ball punting, hoping to rain on the Red Hawks parade. Snap a bit to the right. Bit of a line drive kick. It's going to go past number 7, returning for the Red Hawks, and take a very nice Edgewood bounce there, Mark, right in front of you. Number 9 letting that one bounce out of bounds. I think it's going to be 1st and 10 for Milton. Looks like about the 15-yard line, huh? Okay, 4:54 remaining. We are still scoreless. The Milton Red Hawks going to have their second opportunity to put some points on the board today. The first drive looked good, but did stall inside the 10-yard line of the Crusaders. The Crusaders will come back and be on defense once again. And next on Wisconsin's 57 Sports. Bowl series continues from our friends at A-1 Mattress and Furniture. Second possession of the evening for the Red Hawks. They're going to toss it out there to the right flat. And a nice move by number 3. Holy cow, look at him bolt down the sidelines there. And finally 32 closing the gap on him in the corner. Wow, that's going to bring him all the way out to midfield as you take a peek at the Courtesy Ford first down replay from the A-1 Furniture Cheese Bowl. Somebody's going to be the Cheese Bowl champ. What's that?
Noah Phillips there again on the hitch. As you see it again, a staple of the spread offense. Got a great block on the corner, got it up the sideline for a big gainer.
Certainly did, and nice size and nice speed at the shotgun snap. They kind of faked the similar play, and number 1 is wide open to the sideline. Is it going to get there? I think he came up with a catch there and a late flag as well, Mark.
That's a heck of a throw. Actually, not bad defense. He's got to look back for the ball. Otherwise, in high school, that's face guarding, and it's illegal. They got a penalty on that. I'm sure they'll decline it. But again, the staple of the spread is the hitch, and off the hitch, you have the hitch and go, and that's what we saw there. Fake the hitch to number 3. The defenders bid a little bit. The inside guy fakes his block, goes on a fly pattern, was wide open. If he airs it out a little bit more, he's walking into the end zone, but he did a great job with the catch.
Number 1, Manzer with a nice catch there. So the Red Hawks once again getting deep into Edgewood Crusader territory. They were unable to convert on their first possession, but they do have first down deep.
Second time in the red zone, Sean. We'll see if they can capitalize on this now.
All righty. Nice to see all the fans excited across the field. We've got the Crusaders visiting from Edgewood, and on our near side, got a packed house supporting their Milton Red Hawks. It's 1st and 10. With the shotgun snap, once again, looking at the sideline, checking out those wristbands. Might be a play he wants to switch to there. Isaac Phillips, the good quarterback there for Milton, and he takes the snap and drops back. Nobody protecting off the left side. He got rid of it quickly in the left flat. Oh, wow, look at some broken tackles there, Mark.
Trying to run the tunnel screen to the left side there where they let the lineman come through. The outside guy comes running down the line of scrimmage to get that tunnel screen, hopefully get a couple of linemen blocking in front of him, and he made a couple of guys miss.
Yeah, Mark Bowditch with a real nice play there. And it's going to be 2nd and short for the Red Hawks as they hope to hit pay dirt. And it's going to be a run up the middle. Looked like it was a bit tough to get those legs a chugging. Looked like me running a little bit up the middle there. Kind of tough for me to get going.
Lowered his pad level there, ran over a guy. Looks like he got first down. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Red Hawks.
And that's Billy Pitzner, number 33, getting the run there. He averages about 4.5 yards per pop when he touches the ball. 3:33 remaining in the first quarter. First down and goal to goal for the Red Hawks. Fakes the handoff right. Play action looking left. Oh, put that ball in a nice spot where either his receiver was going to catch it or it was going to be incomplete. I think that one touched the grass, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. He ran a little bit of a boot to the left. A hard throw for a right-handed quarterback. He's got to get his shoulders turned towards the line of scrimmage, going towards his target. And he almost threw a little bit across his body, couldn't quite get enough on it, and skipped it to his receiver.
Makes the coaches cringe a little bit when they're going one way and throwing the other. But nevertheless, it's going to be 2nd down for the Red Hawks from inside the 10. Phillips looks to the sideline and his wristband once again. 2 receivers up top, 2 on the bottom, 1 running back to the quarterback's right. The snap looks right. Quick toss. Looks like a nice job by the corner in there, knocking that bad boy out of there. Number 22 with a nice play for the Crusaders.
Peyton Bondock, he's a 6', 175-pound senior cornerback, and he played that perfectly. Came over the top, had his left hand around the shoulders, right hand knocked the ball out, prevented the touchdown.
So that brings us down to 3rd down with just under 3 minutes and 20 seconds to play here in Milton. The Red Hawks driving. The Crusaders hoping to stymie them once again as they protect their goal line. Quarterback rolls left. Can't find anybody. Looks across the field, and he's got a catch at about the 2-yard line, but I think they held him out of the end zone. So we're going to have some decisions to make here.
That was a heck of a throw by Isaac Phillips here. He rolled left, had all of his receivers going to the left except for one kind of scooting underneath on a short drag route, and delivered a nice ball, but the defender was able to stop him.
4th and goal from the 2. They're going to go for it. The big fella, number 33, getting up the middle. I think he broke the plane, didn't he?
He did. Touchdown, Red Hawks.
We have got our first tally of the contest, and the hometown Red Hawk fans are excited, as well as the cheerleader. And the band is getting fired up. It's 6-0 Milton, 2:45 to go in the first. Appear to be getting set up for the extra point. So the home fans happy.
Billy Pitzner, 6'1", 190-pound running back with a touchdown on his last home game. Got to be happy with that.
Snap. It's down. And the kick appears to be good. The referees put their hands in the air, and it is 7-0 Red Hawks, as the hosts have got a 1-touchdown advantage over the Edgewood Crusaders, who will be back momentarily to get the ball after the kickoff. And a special thanks to Libertarian Phil Anderson, running for U.S. Senate for Wisconsin. Phil proudly showing his support for youth athletics and humbly inviting you to support his efforts to represent you. More as the battle for the Cheese Bowl continues. It's the A-1 Mattress and Furniture Bowl Series on Wisconsin's 57 Sports. And we've brought the Bowl Series to Milton High School in Anderson Field here tonight, as the Red Hawks have taken an early 7-zip advantage over the Edgewood Crusaders, who are visiting. 2:45 remaining in the first quarter. I'm Sean Smith here with Mark Martinez today, and nice to finally get some points on the board there, and we'll see how Edgewood can respond, Mark.
Well, Sean, all year we've had games that have not been quite as close on the scoreboard as we would like, and it'd be nice to have a contest that went down to the wire. So hopefully tonight we got a good one here. The Red Hawks came out firing on offense, and we'll see if the Crusaders can answer.
And it could be worse for Edgewood, as it appeared that the Red Hawks are going to put some points on the board on their first possession, but a turnover was forced on the far side of the field. And that's where we sit right now. The Red Hawks up 7-zip as they prepare to kick. 2 returners deep for the Crusaders. They're in the white. The Red Hawks with the red jerseys. Bit of a liner squib kick, which is trouble for the Crusaders. Holy cow, they've got to pick it up about their 5 or 10 yard line. And they're going to have a ways to go, close to 85 yards, if they want to score a touchdown and even up this event here.
Drake Brent just couldn't find a handle on that ball. It was kind of squib kicked at him, and he bobbled it around a little bit. You probably want to pick it up a little cleaner if you can before, and wasn't able to make much out of that.
And I'm sure you tend to panic a little bit the closer those tacklers come getting you before you pick up that ball. All right, so we're back to Edgewood having the ball. Will Swidda, number 16, their quarterback. Hands the ball off, trying to get up the middle. A whole host of bodies there, including a whole bunch of Red Hawks. Number 25, number 2 coming in there, and 46, and I believe that's 71, excuse me, at the bottom of the pile.
High formation for the Crusaders, just trying to run an inside trap play to see if they can get some movement on the line. Didn't get much push there, only popped about 1 yard in there, and the interior Red Hawk defense was formidable on that one.
So that moves us to 2nd and 9 from their own 15, the Edgewood Crusaders. Switak drops back to pass. Just barely overthrown.
Chris Darcy, number 23, is Edgewood's leading receiver on the season. He's caught 18 balls for 284 yards and 4 touchdowns. And
Yes.
He was their number 1 target last week, caught 4 touchdown passes at Monona Grove. And they're trying to get him the ball, get him unleashed tonight, and is just slightly overthrown.
16 yards a pop is what he averages, so keep a number on number 23. That Michael Jordan guy made that number 23 pretty popular, didn't he?
He certainly did. Even these young kids know Michael Jordan. It's funny that us old-timers remember him as the greatest ever, and I think everybody else does. A lot of these kids never saw him, but they still remember that number 23. Either it's Michael Jordan or LeBron James, right?
It certainly is. I remember thinking when I was younger growing up, how's the NBA gonna survive without Michael Jordan? They're doing all right, aren't they?
I think they are, yeah.
Welcome back to Anderson Field. Want to thank our friends from A-1 Furniture and Mattress. They're our presenting sponsor.
First and 10, Madison Edgewood.
And first and 10 for the Crusaders. As you hear from the PA announcer here at Anderson Field. The Red Hawks standing on top of a 7-zip lead as we have 2 minutes, just under 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
Got a confusion by the Zebras down there.
Gonna have a bit of a convention, I think. Dane County's premier realtor, thanks to Century 21 affiliated realtor and broker Kirsten Goggin for another year of support. If you're buying or selling, visit kjsellsmadison.com and let her experience work for you. Kirsten Goggin, a hometown team supporter. All right.
Not quite sure what they're discussing down there, Sean.
Yeah, the big guy's probably grateful to get a couple extra seconds of rest here as the chains have been moved, and it's first and 10 for the Crusaders at about their own 26. Behind center, in motion. They take it around the end towards our near side. I think I saw a hanky fly in there, Mark. Any idea what that might be about?
Most likely holding.
Pretty near the
Going
line of
out on a
scrimmage.
limb.
Yeah, pretty good guess there, right? So the Crusaders will go back to their huddle. And we'll hear from tonight's referee. Well, he didn't gamble too much on that one, Mark. He hit that one on the money.
Well, usually that part of the field, it's a pretty good guess.
So the Crusaders deep in their own territory and continue to go backwards now. As it's going to change it from first to 10 to first and 20. Couple of running backs, couple of wide receivers towards the top of your screen. And there's the snap. He's looking deep down the middle. He's wide open. Oh, just slightly overthrown.
Riding Wyden back, 5'11", 155-pound senior, wide open on that play. Kind of contorted his body a little bit. If he could add a little bit more body control, caught that on the run, he was off to the races.
Yeah, it looked like maybe he thought that ball was going to be on the other side of the hashtags.
Yeah.
So that's going to move it from first down to second down and 20 for Edgewood. Had a couple of opportunities to hit some deeper tosses, but just haven't quite connected. We'll see what they decide on second and 20. Nice to see a full house here of Milton Red Hawks cheering on their club. They looked inside, tried to bounce it outside a little bit. I don't think they're going to get more than a couple of yards there.
Yeah, Sean, you certainly appreciate it. A small town like Milton, the community means a lot to this town. The high school does as well. Football program, even though they're 2-6, 1-4 in conference, the whole town is out for the game tonight. Last game of the season. Weather's pretty good, and you love to see this type of support for the team when they're not having the greatest year ever.
Absolutely. There's hot cocoa and hot dogs to keep everybody warmed up. Currently 3rd and 19 for Edgewood as they're down 7-zip from their own 17-yard line. Drops back to pass, kind of shuffles to his left, some heavy pressure.
The quarterback is stopped and dropped in the backfield.
Big number 71 looks like he's in there to make the sack.
Well, they were bringing pressure. The Red Hawk defense, they brought 2 linebackers blitzing over both A gaps, and he had a little bit of time initially, but the second one was able to get there and knock his arm down before. Obviously, it's 3rd and 22, and they have to throw deep to make the first down, so he didn't have enough time to get the ball out of his hands.
And because of the pressure, that pushed them back a little bit, so it'll be 4th and 24. They're going to be forced to punt. You would think the Red Hawks going to get dynamite field position here as the seconds tick down in the first quarter. High snap. Punt pretty high in the air. Might just going to be letting this one bounce, as number 7 for the Red Hawks does. And the Crusaders down at around the 39-yard line, where the Red Hawks will take over as we get close to the wraps on the first quarter.
Going to be marked at the Milton 39-yard line.
We'd like to thank our Sideline Report sponsor, Brian Olson at Dale's Heating and Air Conditioning, for supporting local high school athletics. Go to dalesheating.com to find out how you can get your dryer vents clean for free, putting your comfort first. 1 second remaining. It's 1st and 10 for the Red Hawks. Looking at the sideline to change once again. 3 receivers on the bottom of your screen, 1 up top. And it looks like a handoff up the middle. Ooh, stood up at the line of scrimmage, trying to bounce it outside.
Answer with the carry.
But a few Crusaders piling on and pushing it backwards as we get to the end of the first quarter.
Simon and 27 Royer on the stop. And that's the end.
The Milton Red Hawks up 7-0 after our first 12 minutes of play. They'll have the ball second down and 10 at their own 39 when we get ready for the second quarter. Let's go to the sideline.
Back with the Dale's Heating and Air sideline report here at the Cheese Bowl, where Edgewood is taking on Milton in the A-1 Furniture and Mattress Bowl Series. And with me now, I have Principal Jeremy Bilhorn. Jeremy, thanks for being with us.
Hey, no problem.
We appreciate it. Now we want to take a second, too, to kind of look away from football, talk about some other things going on. And you guys have a referendum coming up on November 8th.
We do.
Let's talk about that a little bit. What is going to be in that referendum?
Okay, yeah, there's two questions on the referendum on November 8th. One is the first question is for operating cost, and the second is for facilities. The facility question is looking at actually building a new high school and additions to our one of the elementaries and ADA upgrades across the district.
So kind of going off of that, why is it so important for the community to support schools and education in their community?
You know, we've really enjoyed a community that has supported education in Milton for a long time. In many different ways, evidence with a number of people here tonight. But what we're able to do on November 8th is being able to do the next step, and that is making sure that we have the facilities to continue to do the great programs that we have in Milton.
Absolutely, and we also want to talk about as well other sports going on right now at Milton. How are the other sports shaping up?
You know, we're kind of running into the conclusion of the fall season. We had our girls golf team went to state. The girls volleyball is heading to the postseason. We had a doubles tennis had a great season. A doubles team at the state tournament. We have had, I don't want to miss anybody. We have soccer, soccer that is going to the postseason as well.
Awesome. So looking good all around here at Milton. Principal Jeremy Bilhorn, thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. And we'll head back to the game.
Thanks to the principal and thanks to Ellen. A deep pass for the Red Hawks. Was that caught? It looks like it hit the ground. Maybe a little underthrown there, Mark?
Threw it a little bit to the inside. The receiver was open on the sideline. If he puts it over on closer to the sideline, he either catches it or he catches it and scores. It's a heck of a throw, though.
Certainly was. So it looks like it's going to be 4th and 8. And the Red Hawks, you would think, are planning to punt here. So they have the ball at about their own 41, protecting a 7-zip lead. A couple of Crusaders back there to return the ball.
And number 23, Chris Darcy to receive for Edgewood.
And the punt is off. Looks like number 23 is going to return it. He bobbles it a bit, and I think he took a knee there, didn't he?
He did. When the ball hit the ground, he kind of scooped it up like a shortstop, put his knee on the ground there, and of course, in high school, that's down right there.
Okay, so it looks like the Crusaders going to have an opportunity to put together a drive to tie this bad boy up from their own 20-yard line or so. I want to thank Blow and Smoke Barbecue in Wanakee. They're proudly supporting high school athletics, specializing in Kansas City-style barbecue, offering great dining service and catering for parties, large and small. It's Blow and Smoke Barbecue. So the
I heard great things about Blow and Smoke. I drove through Wanakee one time looking to get some barbecue, and I went to their place. Unfortunately, they were closed, but I'm looking forward to going back.
Oh, you get there next time. It's super-duper tasty. Very tasty. We got a tasty ball game here as the battle for the Cheese Bowl continues, thanks to our friends from A-1 Furniture and Mattress. Crusaders got the ball 1st and 10, about their own 20. We'll see if they can match up with the Red Hawks. And the snap. Good moves by the running back there. Number 22 for Edgewood. Having some nice moves. Looks like that's Peyton Bondock.
It's a nice little counter out of the wing T formation there. Had a lead blocker there, came out and kicked out the end, and he was able to make a guy miss and get a nice gainer on 1st down, put him in good down and distance, 2nd and 4 to keep this drive going.
Well, when good enough doesn't cut it, head to O'Reilly's to find out what you need to get the job done right. O'Reilly's Auto Parts, helping perfectionists for over 50 years. Better parts, better prices every day. 2nd and 4, the pitch. They pitch left. Number 9 trying to wait for his blockers to open up some holes, and unfortunately, they close quickly. A whole host of Red Hawks kind of stringing them out on the line of that scrimmage here.
Yeah, when you can get the offensive guys, especially on edge plays, going parallel to the line of scrimmage to make them go horizontally, the defenders can catch up with them. If you don't get that edge quick, usually it's not good things that come with that.
So that moves it to 3rd and 5 as Edgewood hopes to move the chains and continue against the host Milton Redhawks here on Parents' Night. It'll be a shotgun snap. Running back to his right. Fakes the handoff. And 14 with a reception. Wow, great wrap up there by number 42. You know, a lot of times you'll see these people just kind of hit people as hard as they can, and they don't usually use their arms to wrap up. I love to see the textbook tackle using the arms to wrap.
Ricky Lesky, number 42, 5'9", 145-pound defensive back. He's a senior. Great technique, as you mentioned on that, Sean. It was an out route. If he doesn't make that tackle, it's an easy first down.
He's Mark Martinez. I'm Sean Smith. Thanks for joining us today on Wisconsin's 57 Sports. Who's going to win the Cheese Bowl? We'll find out today.
And here you go, Rich. They're going to go for it, 4th and 1.
They are. Wow, from deep in their own territory. As you mentioned earlier, why the heck not, right? And they blasted up the middle, giving it to the big fella, and he got 1 yard and then some.
235-pound fullback is a decent-sized college fullback, and it's a huge one in high school. You don't see him that big usually carrying the ball. So when they need short yardage, 34 is probably going to carry the rock.
There you go. It makes sense. It makes sense. So a little bit of momentum coming together for the Crusaders of Edgewood. They've reached about their own 35, where it'll be 1st and 10. And the Redhawks look to stymie them. Snap from center, number 16. Hands it off to 34, tries to keep those legs a-pumping. I think he's going to get a few yards.
Funny how many times in high school ball a play works. Coaches said, let's try it again. Ran this exact same play, and they got 4 yards. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, sometimes there's a cat and mouse game going on. Sometimes it's just, hey, we're going to pound it. All right, 2nd and 5. As the Crusaders try to plow up the middle, it's going to turn out to be 3rd and short.
Same play, other direction, Sean.
So that's
and then eventually you got a counter off of that where you're going to fake it to him. The defenders are going to crash down, and either you pitch it or the quarterback keeps it and hopefully open up something big on the edge.
And that's going to move it to 3rd and 2. Welcome back. Anderson Field here as we get approach 8 minutes remaining in the first half. 3rd and 2, Crusaders. Quarterback behind center. They're going to give it back to number 34, but I think just too many red jerseys there. They're going to have to mark. They're going to have to take a spot at this. It's very close.
I think it's going to be 4th down. Looks like they got to get all the way to that yard marker on the 45-yard line to make the first down. They've given it to 34 3 times in a row. I'm going to roll the dice and say they're going to give it to him a 4th time here.
Okay. Well, we'll see if your Swami hat's going to work today, Mark.
Fred Richards.
Okay. All right. Fred Richards. You heard it. We'll see if Mark knows his stuff. He's been good so far. 4th and very short. We'll see who wins in the trenches.
Fred gets it.
Did you make the call?
Freddie got it. 34.
There we go. The A-1 Furniture Cheese Bowl continues a courtesy Ford 1st down.
I can guarantee you that he's not going to get the ball this time, Sean.
All righty.
He's on the sidelines.
I like guarantees. Chosen Few Gym, offering classes in mixed martial arts, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, Thai boxing and conditioning, and welcoming both veterans and beginners to join. That's Chosen Few Gym. Great guys there. So 1st and 10 from the 48. The Crusaders with a couple of running backs, wide receiver up top and up down. Not much up the middle there. That could be a tackle for a loss as the Redhawks defense stood firm.
It's a new fullback that came in the game, gave Fred Richards a break. Alex Brown, 5'9", 165-pound junior. First carry for a loss there, but he had nowhere to run.
Looking forward to the Lexus of Madison halftime show. Todd Cadle and team at Lexus of Madison supports youth athletics and supports you, where the guests are as special as the cars. Visit Lexus of Madison and engage in the Lexus experience. 2nd and 11. Takes the snap, drop back to pass. Receiver looks like he about fell down, but got on his knee and bobbled the ball, but I think he came up with a catch there.
Chris Darcy there was doing just a hook route, about 4 yards. He slipped, but he was able to maintain his composure and catch the ball, at least for positive yardage, to make it 3rd and 7.
And as you mentioned, Mark, he's kind of their big play guy when they're putting the ball in the air, right?
He is. So obviously they're setting up the home run hitter over the top. You want to catch a couple curls or hooks, get that defensive back jumping up on that route, and then you beat him over the top with a post or a double move.
So that moves it to 3rd and 7. from about the 50-yard line. Crusaders hoping to continue moving the chains and get a chance to tie things up. Milton up 7-zip. The QB is behind center. A couple of running backs play action. He's looking towards the sidelines. And we see some hankies in the air. Perhaps some defensive pass interference there.
Certainly. So Peyton Bondock was the slot receiver there, ran an out and up. And the linebacker who's covering him was caught behind him a little bit, contacted him while the ball's in the air. That's pass interference, 15 yards and a first down for the Crusaders.
And that's the O'Reilly penalty flag here at the A-1 Furniture Cheese Bowl. We'll determine an MVP today. We'll give away a great Cheese Bowl trophy. A lot for these teams to be fighting for, despite both of them not being real happy with their overall records. We'll have a winner tonight, folks, I promise.
You can see it's been competitive so far, though, which you'd expect with teams that have similar records. They've both been able to move the ball, had some defensive success on both sides of it with the turnover and forcing the Redhawks to punt, and both offenses moving the ball well.
So that moves us to 1st and 10. Put the quarterback in the shotgun formation here. And the big horns are blowing. He's looking towards the sideline. It's complete to number 14. Not too large of a gain, but a few yards for the Crusaders.
Keep the defense off, and it's just a quick hitter in the flat right there. Again, sometimes you just want to make those passes, whether you complete them or not, to get the defense to be wary of them. And then you got your home run hitters over the top.
Watch all your favorite sports, including tonight's game of the entire high school bowl series, along with all Badgers, Packers, Bucks, and Brewers games at Babe's Bar and Grill. Always great game day specials. Always a great time at Babe's Bar and Grill. So 2nd and 7. As number 21 comes scooting in from the Crusaders sideline. One of the Redhawks coaches chit-chatting with the referee here.
Looks like Matt Lee was talking with the head ref there. Not quite sure, but something about the horn that was being blown on that last play.
Oh.
I'm not sure, but you're not supposed to do that in the middle of a play, that's for sure.
Not going to get the sportsmanship award for blowing that horn there yet. That's we're having a good time here, but you don't need to be distracting the players. They got enough things to worry about. As all these departing seniors for both teams really want to end things on a plus note as we tick down to 5:30 remaining in the second quarter with Milton hanging on to a 7-zip lead. But the Crusaders kind of putting their first substantial drive together here so far, Mark.
They are, and I'm watching the sideline here. An assistant coach went up to a police officer and mentioned something to him, and he's going down over towards the student section, probably going to talk to the kids about artificial noises during the middle of the plays. So,
yeah, what might sound like it'd be a funny joke really just makes things more difficult for a lot of hard work, and whether it's student athletes or referees or coaches or even fans. So keep those noisemakers at home, or play them in your own living room, right? Turn on that horn in your little brother's ear or something.
Right. Wake them up in the morning with that.
So 2nd and 7, I think we've got things figured out here from Anderson Field in Milton. Thanks for joining us for Parents' Night with the Redhawks in Milton. Nice host so far. And the Crusaders of Edgewood with a shotgun snap, fakes the handoff one way, goes the other, bulldozing his way up for a few yards.
Number 34, Richards with a carry.
Fred Richards being the workhorse here in the second quarter for the Crusaders. They fake the jet, give it to him on the counter coming across the short side of the field there. And again, he's able to get positive yardage almost every time he touches the ball. And I could stand to be corrected there. It might be 84. I thought it was 34.
Oh, okay. Well, that happens. You know what I've noticed is the Crusaders' numbers appear to be a little bit smaller than the Redhawks in the red jerseys. So here we go, 3rd and 4. Shotgun snap, drops back to pass. Quick slant there. And number 3 keeps those legs a chugging. It's going to have to be a lot of pursuit of Redhawks to take him down. But that'll move the chains.
So Ryan Wiedenbach, number 3, again, he was open on the post in the first quarter. That was just thrown a little bit behind him, but that one, the slant pattern was open. He ran that perfectly and delivered the ball nicely there, able to make the catch, get the first down.
And as you saw in the replay there from our friends at Prairieland Towing, I like to see him wrap the ball up with 2 hands when he's going through traffic at multiple tacklers.
Certainly.
Good fundamentals. So that brings us to 1st and 10, just outside the 10-yard line of the home Redhawks. The Crusaders looking to even things up at 7 apiece as we get just below 4:20 in the second quarter. And there goes 34 again, rumbling and bumbling a little bit.
So the defensive line for the Red Hawks are starting to key. When Richards is in the game, they know he's going to get the ball in the 3-hole, 2-hole right to the left or right of the center, and they're really teeing off in those areas and able to stop them for a minimal gain.
So teams kind of jockeying. Cat and mouse game continues as we have a one-possession ball game as the Crusaders look to tie things up. It'll be 2nd and 9 from the 11 of the home Milton Red Hawks. From behind center, the pitch left, and number 22 starts cutting upfield. Might have got a couple there.
Yeah, and as good coaches do, when they start to crowd the box inside, you go to the outside, and you have your big guy, your fullback lead block on the toss play, and try to get to the edge there, get a couple positive yards.
I want to thank Paul Revere's Pizza. Jeff Aston of Paul Revere's Pizza, a proud sponsor of the Milton Red Hawks. Call 868-4999 or stop by 144 Merchant Row for the best specialty pizzas, pastas, salads, and oven-baked sandwiches. Paul Revere's Pizza in Milton, revolutionary home delivery. Brings us to 3rd and 7 from the 9-yard line. Crusaders driving. And we're going to have a whistle.
Timeout. Timeout, Edgewood.
Okay, don't forget, we have all sorts of halftime fun upcoming, and also we'll hand out the MVP by the end of the game, and also somebody wins that great Cheese Bowl trophy. Who will raise it? We will find out later on momentarily. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with Milton up 7-zip on Edgewood here at Anderson Field. It's the A-1 Mattress and Furniture Bowl Series on Wisconsin's 57 Sports. Welcome back to Anderson Field, where the Milton Red Hawks holding on to a 7-zip lead here with just over 3 minutes remaining in the first half with Mark Martinez. I'm Sean Smith. More football upcoming for you. Don't miss live college football every Saturday starting at 11 a.m. Watch next Saturday regional matchups. Boston College taking on Syracuse on Saturday, October 22nd. Kickoff at 11 a.m. So it's 3rd and 7 for the Crusaders.
I recognize that guy.
And he fakes the handoff. Oh, and it looked like he was wide open in the end zone, but the receiver bobbled it, and it almost looked like the Red Hawks are going to pick that off in the end zone, Mark.
Well, Darcy's going to be kicking himself there. He had a touchdown and just couldn't quite put it all together. He bobbled it up a little bit, and the Red Hawks did a good thing by not intercepting it because, well, it would have been nice if they got it at the 20. I thought it was 4th down there, but it's not.
Sure. We got 4th and 7 now, and looks like no interest in a field goal here, huh? They're going to go for it. Shotgun snap, and another timeout. A-1 Furniture and Mattress, our presenting sponsor. I want to thank you to Mr. Paul Canarella and the good people over at A-1 Furniture for supporting high school athletics again this season as our official Bowl Series sponsor. A-1 Furniture and Mattress, your premier mattress and furniture store.
You love to see the youth and enthusiasm of the student sections at all the games we've been to this year, Sean. We've had a whiteout, a blackout, a Hawaiian night, camouflage night tonight. In accordance with October Breast Cancer Awareness, we got the pink out by the student section for the Milton high school students here. It's just cool to see things like that.
There's so many things that separate us in today's world. It's nice when we can all come together for a good cause. So certainly glad to see that. So 4th and 7. The Crusaders, like you said earlier, why not just go for it in this game, right?
Absolutely.
And the host Red Hawks look to stop him. It's the snap. He pumps once, looks to the end zone, and he overshoots the big fella. That'll be a turnover on downs.
Trying to hit Mandela Dang, a 6'4", 210-pound junior receiver, big target, try to throw the back shoulder fade, so to speak. And obviously the pros, Aaron Rodgers gets to practice that all the time at the high school level. It's a harder pass to complete and just couldn't quite connect.
Certainly, but as you said, a huge target. So the Red Hawks can get the ball with 2:52 remaining in the first half. Deep in their own territory at their own 9-yard line, up 7-zip.
Both teams got to feel good about that drive. The Edgewood offense has to feel good that they marched all the way down the field and got close to scoring, and the Red Hawks are glad, obviously, they stopped them.
So we'll see if the Crusaders can stop them. They try and run up the middle for Milton, and he spun his way close to a first down. Might have been watching some Eddie Lacy tape there. A lot of spinning from the running back all of a sudden.
Billy Pitzner, again, their leading running back, and he broke a number of tackles there, carried some guys along with them. It's amazing to see these kids weighing 180, 190 pounds running over guys.
1st and 10. The snap, the handoff, they're going to go up the middle again. I believe that's Pitzner again.
Looks like Billy's getting lathered up, as Barry Alvarez used to say when he would feed the rock to Ron Dane 30, 40 times a game. You like to see the big fella get lathered up. Number 33 for Pitzner for the Redhawks. Looks like he's getting lathered up tonight.
That moves it to 2nd and 5. Nice look there from our camera team here with Wisconsin's 57 Sports. Around end, that's number 10. He's got some moves. Ooh. But not the biggest of people. We've seen him get hit a couple times. He gets knocked on his keister from time to time.
Guy had the angle on him, linebacker chasing him down, but he was able to get the first down. So good positive yard there for the Redhawks.
So the chains will move. And the Redhawks will take the snap. Isaac Phillips, their quarterback, in the shotgun. Play action fake, rolls right. Got to scoot out the pocket a little bit, trying to juke. And looks like he got maybe a yard or two and got out of bounds.
Phillips has some tools to work with. He looks like a kid who could play at the next level, whether that's Division III, Division II at the quarterback level. 6'3", 205 pounds, really strong arm, pretty good accuracy, and as you saw there, good athleticism to get out of the pocket and run the ball.
Absolutely, and nowadays you want your quarterbacks to be able to hurt other teams inside the pocket, outside with their legs and their arms. So it's 2nd and 10 for the Redhawks. Shotgun snap, dots back, quick pass to 19. He's got a blocker. He's got to make another guy miss. And he does, breaking some tackles and scooting down the sideline. And breaking more tackles. Holy cow. With about $1:36 to go here in our first half, the Redhawks knocking on the door as they've got it inside the Crusader of Edgewood's 30-yard line.
Chance Nelson, 6'2", 200-pound tight end. Just was able to break a number of tackles there and display a little bit of speed, too.
So that moves it to 1st and 10. They kind of go with the same play except to the other side. Not quite the same result, but boy, he's not going down without a fight. A whole bunch of white jerseys at Edgewood making the tackle.
And you can see in the spread offense, those hitches and those bubbles are really extended handoffs out on the edge, and they're able to get positive yards.
2nd and 6, handoff up the middle. Kind of weaving, see if he can find something on the left side. On the near side here, the press box. Didn't look like there was much of a gain there.
Billy Pitzner just trying to keep the ball on the ground, keep the clock moving, keep the defense honest there with the run so that they can continue to throw the ball.
And speaking of the clock, it looks like there's a timeout. Please stay seated at the conclusion of tonight's game for the 2016 A-1 Furniture Cheese Bowl Trophy, brought to you by Channel 57 Sports. It will be replayed on Channel 57 Sports at the following times: Saturday at 6 p.m. as well as Sunday at 1 p.m. More from the Cheese Bowl and Anderson Field. It's the Milton Redhawks up 7-zip over the Edgewood Crusaders on Wisconsin's 57 Sports. And the Milton Redhawks continuing to drive here, hoping to build at the end of the first half on their 7-zip lead on the Edgewood Crusaders. A nice catch and pass.
Great 2-minute offense so far. They took over at the 8-yard line.
And here's the snap. They're now inside the 20. A nice lob pass and wide open, number 40. Not sure what happened there. It looked like number 2 for Edgewood got lost in coverage, and 40 takes it to pay dirt for Milton. And that's got to sting a little bit towards the end of the half to give up a touchdown like that when it's been such a relatively close play game.
It certainly does. I don't have a 40 on either of the rosters I have for Milton, but just ran a post pattern. No safety help over the top when you have the spread offense out there. Phillips delivered a perfect strike for the touchdown.
And it's a high snap. The hold goes down. It looks like it's right down the uprights.
And the kick is good.
And Milton up 14-zip. The host Redhawks blanking the Edgewood Crusaders so far. A1 Furniture, thank you very much to Mr. Paul Canarella and the good people over at A1 Furniture for supporting high school athletics again this season. Our official Bowl Series sponsor, A1 Furniture and Mattress, your premier mattress and furniture store. 44 seconds remaining in the first half. It's Milton 14 and Edgewood 0. More with Wisconsin 57 Sports next. Welcome back. The Cheese Cup battle continues. It's the Crusaders so far of Edgewood not putting any points up on the board. Milton, the host, being Root's host so far as they're up 14-zip after just putting their second touchdown on the board. And you got to feel good, and you want to make sure you don't give up a big play here on the kickoff, don't you, Mark?
Absolutely, but that Red Hawk offense has to feel really good about themselves. They went 92 yards in under 2 minutes. Executed the 2-minute offense perfectly, got a touchdown just before half, but like you said, Sean, you definitely don't want to give up a big kick return here, a big offensive play going into halftime.
Think they might kick a line drive or a squibber here, maybe?
Absolutely. Squib right down the middle, go down and cover it.
Okay. And there's the kick. Ooh. It's taken by the short man around 20-yard line, and looks like he'll scoot out about the 25 or 30. And with 39 seconds remaining in the first half, we'll see if there's any magic for the visiting Crusaders so far. So far held pointless. You can't say haven't tried. They went for it on a couple of fourth down chances so far.
Well, let's see what they do on first down. Most important down when you have under a minute to go in the half or the game, to see if you can get a big gainer on it with a screen or a hitch or just a quick slant. They're going to be playing 2 or 3 deep safety, so it's going to be tough to go over the top, and we'll see what the Crusaders can do on the first down here.
I believe the Crusaders have 2 timeouts remaining. Host Middleton with 1. It's 1st and 10 from their own 28 for Edgewood, down 14-zip. From behind center, play action, fakes left, right, looks to a wide open number 23 close to the far sideline. Pretty nice gainer there, as you said. We'll kind of see what happens on first down, and when you can get to midfield, you feel a little bit better, don't you, Mark?
Absolutely. Nice play call there. Play action pass, fake the jet coming across, fake the end around, so to speak, and then have a in and out route, kind of a double move post corner to Darcy, their top receiver, and he was wide open, able to get it out of bounds and stop the clock.
The first down is brought to you by Courtesy Ford in Sauk Prairie. Thanks to Dale Hicks and team at Courtesy Ford in Sauk Prairie for the support again this year. Courtesy Ford, your new truck destination. At Courtesy Ford, it's courtesy that counts.
And they frustrate the Milton Redhawks into taking a timeout on defense here.
So you see Coach Lee out there with his personnel as we're at about the midway point. 33 seconds remaining in the first half. Milton up 14-zip to the Edgewood Crusaders. It's Parents' Night, and as Mark shared earlier, great to see all the pink to help fight breast cancer and the full crowds here, as well as the visiting Edgewood Crusaders coming from the Madison area. I went to high school in Madison. I went to West. Where'd you go, Mark?
I went to Janesville Parker, so I'm not far from here.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of games played here. Played a couple of scrimmage games here growing up, and Milton was always that school that was very competitive at football, smaller school, but they had a number of kids who went on to play college ball and at the University of Wisconsin, University of Iowa, and other places.
All right, 1st and 10, just 33 seconds remaining in the half. Shotgun snap for the Crusaders. They'll drop back to pass. Looking for number 14. Catches it between a couple of Redhawks.
Number 14.
I think they were setting up the hook and ladder there, Sean.
Oh, do you?
Looked like they had a back running the ladder underneath that, but the pass was inside a little bit too much, and the receiver couldn't quite hook on it and get the toss. But these are those times of the game where the coaches are always pulling something out under their sleeve and going to the trickeration.
Everybody kind of wants the same thing. You want the seniors to go home with a win, don't you?
Oh, absolutely.
And hopefully not, people are drinking enough hot chocolate where nobody's going to get the sniffles or a runny nose or get a cough on a chilly night like this.
You got all those plays in your playbook, and it's the last game, so you might as well pull everything out, everything but the kitchen sink.
Yeah, the kids are saying, hey, Coach, can we try some of these dusty ones in the playbook, right?
On my play sheet that I have, I color the special plays, the exotics, so to speak, purple.
Sure.
And so the kids always say, come on, Coach, throw a purple play in there.
Looking for a purple play here as we get close to the end of the first half. Edgewood looking for their first points of the evening. At about the 44 of the host Redhawks. It'll be 2nd and 4. 3 wide receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. And the QB under center. Looks immediately left. Oh, looky there. Kind of a screen.
A double pass. There you go. And going to the purple play, Sean.
Yeah.
Throw it out to the receiver. Actually, backwards pass to him. Darcy, even though he was covered relatively well, it was a nice, accurate pass by the receiver out to him.
It reminded me of a play I saw the Badgers do when I was a little kid, I want to say. But that
The
was
skip
maybe a skip pass, right?
Altoon.
Absolutely.
Randy Wright, skip pass, bounced it to Altoon.
Those were the days. Those were the days. So 1st and 10, just outside the 11, as the Crusaders are knocking on the door against Milton, who's currently up 14-zip. and looking to make one last stop here. Steps up into the pocket, throws an incomplete there. So that'll stop the clock with 14 seconds remaining.
Milton was getting a little bit of pressure in the pocket, had to release a little earlier than he wanted to, didn't have anybody quite open, so.
Milton's all out of timeouts. It looks like Edgewood has one more. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the visiting Crusaders.
You want to at least come out of here with some points, so obviously you'd love to get a touchdown here, but if you don't and you got a decent field goal kicker, you want to get 3 points on the board.
So they're hoping it doesn't come to that as it's 2nd and 10 from above the 11 of the Redhawks. QB goes from shotgun to behind center. Grabs the snap, looks left, shows it to the near pylon. I think that one was overthrown as it bounces to the fence on the far side of the press box here. So that'll make it 3rd and 10. Just 10 ticks remaining here in the first half.
Trying to run a fade route to the back pylon there. Didn't put enough air on the ball and let the receiver go run underneath it. Threw it on kind of a line. It had to be a perfect throw.
Who will be
just out of the reach?
Excuse me, Mark. Who will be tonight's most valuable player? It's the Anderson for Senate MVP. A special thanks to Libertarian Phil Anderson running for U.S. Senate in Wisconsin. Phil is proudly showing his support for youth athletics and humbly inviting you to support his efforts to represent you. So 3rd and 10, 10 ticks remaining in the first half here. Milton on defense up 14-zip over the visiting Crusaders. Tons of time for the quarterback to roll out. Puts it up in the air. That one's picked off, Mark. It's going to go the other way. And how far will go? Just a bulldozing block on the near sidelines. Number 42 with the pick, and he's going to take it out close to this Milton 45-yard line, and you can hear the fans going nuts. It's going to be a fun halftime, I think, here for the Red Hawk fans who look like they're going to run into halftime. Up
Well,
14-0.
Darcy's their #1 threat as a receiver, and he was running an out route, and Swida eyeballed him the whole time, had both defensive backs bracketing him, and just broke on the ball when he threw it to him. Did give themselves a chance to score.
He's Mark Martinez. I'm Sean Smith. After the first half, it looks like Milton's got a 14-zip lead with a late pick in the end zone to kind of run out the clock and stymie the Edgewood Crusaders. Well, all sorts of fun going on the sidelines as we see the pink come out onto the field. Let's head it down to our sideline reporters.
Thanks, Sean. Ellen and I are down on the sidelines here. It's a great night for football, complete with an almost full moon, and things are getting a little crazy down here. We've got the tiniest little Red Hawks fans.
Oh.
The score's 14-0, and we've got our Lexus of Madison halftime show coming up.
We do, and we've got students from each high school. We've got cheer poms, and we're also talking to Paul with A-1 Furniture. He's the guy on the trophy, so the name on the trophy, it's a big deal. So we'll have that coming up here on the Lexus of Madison halftime show. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Lexus of Madison halftime show here at the Cheese Bowl. And with me now I have Lori, and she is the Milton Booster Club president. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you here, and now you guys have been doing quite a few different things while this game has been going on. What do you guys do to fundraise?
So our main fundraiser, it's a football card, and it has numerous area businesses, and it sells for $20. This year we made $25,000. We also do our concession stand, and this year we made $8,000 so far.
That's awesome. Other things too?
Just little here and there. We do apparel and little things like that.
Love it. And what have you guys bought so far this year, helped provide for the schools?
A couple of our main purchases this year was our first one was our new helmets for the boys. It's the Riddell Flex, so it has all the latest for the concussions. And then we also purchased our cameras that help our boys see everything that's going on, and so that they're able to prepare for next games.
Very cool stuff. And now I have to also brag, because you're also a parent, correct?
I am. I have a junior this year.
Do you want to call out his name?
Clay Killian, number 16.
And it's got to be a proud moment. I mean, it's the last game of the season. How's that feeling so far as a parent?
You know, we always look forward to the last game, but yet it's bittersweet because that means our season is ending. But we'll start up here in November getting ready for next season.
There you go. And again, this is Lori with the Milton Booster Club. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. And we'll be back here with your Lexus of Madison halftime show right after this.
And welcome back. You're watching the A-1 Furniture Cheese Bowl. We're in Milton, Wisconsin, where they're taking on the Edgewood Crusaders. With me, I have a very special guest. We're so proud to have with us Paul Canarella. I know if you've been watching these games, you've heard that name over and over again. Paul is with A-1 Furniture, and he's the proud sponsor of these games and covering football, basketball, and so much more. Paul, what's your role at A-1 Furniture? And thanks for taking a minute here at halftime.
Very happy to take a minute. Owner of A-1 Furniture, and so proud to represent high school athletics on the local level. It means a ton. Just staying local and representing, what means so much to the community and to us as a business. We're very, very local. We're born and raised in Madison, and we really take pride in sponsoring local athletics.
So you're a local guy, and A-1 Furniture is a family business. It's been around since when?
Since 1980.
That's quite a while. 36 years. That's something to be really proud of. So you love sponsoring the local athletics. That's really important to you. Why tonight especially are you here at this game?
This game is a little special for me as my son is on the Edgewood team. So a little shout out to Chase. But, we're down 14. We'll see what happens. But every game, every week is special for each team. And I know it means a lot. Every bowl, this Cheese Bowl means a little extra to me.
That sounds kind of funny, but I know what you mean. And we are so pleased to have you with our halftime show today. This is Paul Canarella from A-1 Furniture sponsoring tonight's game and all the games that you've been watching during the high school football and basketball season. This big trophy here, the bowl trophy, we'll be giving away later to the winning team. This is the Lexus of Madison halftime show. We'll be back with more.
We're back with your Lexus of Madison halftime show here at the A-1 Furniture Cheese Bowl. And we've got some Milton seniors with us now. This is Olivia and Riley. Thanks for being with us, ladies. And first I want to start off with senior year, last game. Now you guys are out here early. We got here pretty early to set up, and you guys were out here waiting for the game to start. So that is some serious dedication, I would say.
Yeah, we like to get front row. I don't know, it's much more fun when you're in the front. So the earliest we've ever gotten here is 4:30.
For the first game, and we like to get everyone cheering and stuff. We bring a whiteboard to write the cheers and stuff down on. We tailgate before out in the parking lot and cook hot dogs and stuff like that. Yeah.
I love it. What a fun tradition to have, it's a senior class. Good for you guys. And now I also want to bring up, you guys are having a sort of pink out tonight. You can see behind us a lot of pink in the crowd. What's going on with the pink?
We decided to do pink because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and so we just wanted to acknowledge that, and it's just kind of something that everyone has, I guess, is the color pink.
It's also senior night tonight, so we thought we'd wear pink for the seniors too, and it's perfect being in October, so.
Awesome. I love it, and kind of using, the school spirit for a good cause. That's awesome. And like I said, senior year for both of you. Favorite senior memory so far?
I would definitely say homecoming week. Being a senior, there's a lot more special things that you get to do. Milton has an activities night, and seniors just get to win the whole thing. So we've been waiting 3 years for that, so that was awesome.
Got to chuck a hay bale pretty far. It was great.
Now that sounds interesting. I'd like to see that. Awesome. Well, thank you both for being with us again. This is Olivia and Riley, and they are seniors with Milton. And we'll be back with more here from the A-1 Furniture Cheese Bowl right after this.
And welcome back. You're watching the A-1 Furniture Cheese Bowl in Milton, Wisconsin, where they're taking on the Edgewood Crusaders. This is the Lexus of Madison halftime show, and I do have some Edgewood fans with me today. Let me look at my list. I have Jennifer, Hannah, Julia, Aaron, and Sierra. Welcome, and thanks for taking a minute here at halftime.
Thank you.
All right, you're all bundled up, and it is a nice night, but it gets chilly. What brings you out tonight? Because this is a bit of a drive, isn't it? Who wants to answer that?
I got it. So it's about an hour drive, but we just wanted to come out. It's the last game. We really wanted to support our seniors. They put a lot into the season. So.
Wow, that's really great, because it is a drive, but it's your senior year. So are you supporting seniors across the board? What other sports are you attending and looking forward to watching?
Basketball. Boys hockey. Girls basketball.
Basketball.
So seniors, they don't have to be boys, right? Speaking of seniors, you're all seniors. What are you going to miss the most? Or are you going to miss anything?
Yeah, I'd say. Since Edgewood's a smaller school, you're really able to have the opportunity to gain good relationships with your teachers and classmates, so I'll miss that.
Oh yeah, sure. I'm really gonna miss like just being with like these small like 5 girls and like just coming to games and stuff like this.
Is this your crew right here? Alrighty, well, thanks for coming out. Thanks for visiting here at halftime. Good luck in your senior year, and good luck with the rest of the game. Alrighty, we'll be back with more Lexus of Madison halftime show right after this.
Welcome back to the Lexus of Madison halftime show here at the A-1 Furniture Cheese Bowl. And with me now, I have the Milton cheer team. We've got a couple different people here today. I've got Riley, now you're the captain. I've got Louisa, and you're a co-captain. We've got the coach, Jessica, and we also have a senior, and your name is? Iris. Sorry about that. We got a whole crew today. I love it. We've got all the spirit, and now I want to talk about, you guys have got on pink tonight. You had a bunch of kids out with you as well, so I want to talk about what you guys were doing with the kids tonight in your performance. Should I give this one to you, Coach?
Yes. So we were holding a fundraiser that introduced our Milton cheerleaders, the little kids, and it helped our team as well as helping the community kids.
Awesome. So how did you guys prepare for that performance?
Well, it was 4 hours of straight chaos. We had 90 kids, and we worked really hard practicing cheers and dances.
So now being captains and co-captains, why was it important for you guys to get involved in the community and do something, you know, to bring youth into your performance tonight?
I think as a cheerleader, that's really what it's all about, helping the community and getting to know everyone. It's really...
I just think it helped a lot with like the girls to come in and feel comfortable trying out in the high school and whatnot, so that helped a lot.
Awesome, and now for all of you, you're all seniors this year, correct? So this is one of the last football games you'll get to perform at. So is that a bittersweet feeling?
Yeah, it honestly really is. Knowing that it's like the last game of your high school career, it's kind of saddening, you know.
Well, you guys did a fantastic job. You really did. And what a cool way to end, you know, the football season by bringing the community into it as well. So thank you all for being with us. Again, this is the Milton cheer team, and we'll be back with more here with your Lexus of Madison halftime show right after this.
And welcome back. You're watching the A-1 Furniture High School Bowl Series. This is the Cheese Bowl. We're in Milton, Wisconsin. They're taking on the Edgewood Crusaders. And this is the Lexus of Madison halftime show. With me, I have some of the Milton Palms and their coach. Thanks for taking a minute here at halftime. So this is Michelle, the coach for the Palms. And Michelle, your team performed twice, actually, during halftime. Why was that?
We did. We had some technical difficulties at our last homecoming game. So I thought it'd be really important for the girls to show them how well they shine and excel. So we're really excited about that. We were able to do that.
Great, so you got a do-over. That's awesome. And what's new, something a little different about your squad this year?
This year actually is our first time that we're going to actually compete. And we're going to competition in January 8th. And the girls are really excited about it. And I have 2 of my captains here, and they're just wonderful. And I think it's a wonderful opportunity for us to shine and to grow.
So you two are actually going to be doing the competing, and that's new for both of you. What's new? What's different about preparing for a competition? This is Ketty and Claire. Thank you.
So we're definitely working on more techniques, pointed toes, leaps, some special jumps.
C-jumps, seconds. We're really going to hit hard on facials because those are very important for competitions.
Wow, okay, and you still have to like study for classes and stuff too, right? Now both of you are captains and seniors. What's different, because both of you have been in Palms all 4 years, so this is a different role for you, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a surreal feeling. It's bittersweet, but it's great being out there and knowing the girls look up to you and can come to you if they need advice.
Right, and what Claire said, it's really great to be a part of such a good family like Palms, and it's just been so great to be a part of it for 4 years, and I couldn't have asked for a better high school experience.
Alrighty, well, thanks for taking a minute here. Good luck at your competition as well. Alrighty, that's it for our Lexus of Madison halftime show. We'll be back to the game, and you're watching Wisconsin's 57.
Welcome back. Tonight's game, the 2016 Cheese Bowl, being recorded by Channel 57 Sports Television. It will be replayed on Channel 57 Sports at the following times: Saturday at 6 p.m., Sunday at 1 p.m. Channel 57 Sports is available on all cable and satellite providers and for free over the air. We're about ready for the second half of action from Anderson Field in Milton. The host Redhawks up 14-0 on the Edgewood Crusaders. Well, we've been trying to look around all halftime and try to find out who the heck number 40 was who got a touchdown. Do we find anything out, Mark?
We certainly did. Number 40 is actually 41 on the roster. Travis Barb, he's a senior wide receiver. 5'9", 165 pounds. Not the biggest guy in the world, but he caught a big touchdown 44 seconds before halftime there to put the Redhawks up 14-0 on that post pattern.
Yeah, and then Billy Pitzner also found pay dirt for the Redhawks, and then a late pick by their defense. Oh, and look at that. There's an onside kick right away by the Redhawks. They did that in a hurry, and it looks like they kind of got the ball. And wow, if you were going into the second half as a Crusader and thought you'd have some momentum, they pretty much beat us to the kickoff there, and before you knew it, it was actually recovered by the Redhawks. Wow.
They're in that bunch formation that you see teams line up right in front of the ball. Ref signaled ready to play, and the kicker just went and kicked it, and they were able to recover it. The up back couldn't quite scoop it up, bounced off of his thigh pillard, and the Redhawks claimed it.
As you saw with the Preland towing replay there, it gives the Redhawks the ball back now. They're up 14-0, 11:57 to go in quarter number 3. Number 10 in motion. He ends up with the ball, and he's going to be looking deep, puts a lot of air underneath this ball. It looks like a little hand fighting going on down the seam there. But
as you often see, Sean, on a change of possession, turn of momentum, oftentimes coaches like to go deep with the ball, and they did there on an end-around pass. Receiver was almost there, couldn't quite gather it in, but going to the bag of tricks early in the second half.
They sure are. So now it's 2nd and 10 from the Crusader 42. We'll take a shotgun snap. 2 wide receivers up top, 2 down. That goes to the running back up the middle. Number 33 chugs his way through. Looks like he'll get about 4 yards down.
Billy Pitzner on the carry there. He didn't have a lot of room to work with. He had 3 guys he had to break tackles on and was still able to get 3 yards. He's a tough ball carrier.
And a tough evening here, man. A lot of fans toughing it out. Thanks to everybody for a great halftime show. Great to chit-chat with everybody as it's 3rd and 6 as the Redhawks look to build off their 14-0 lead. As their quarterback takes a look over to the sideline, that's Isaac Phillips. Had a pretty good season so far. Hoping to build on it and end in winning fashion here for him and his Redhawk teammates. Snap, they're going to hand it off, going to hand it up the middle to 33 again. And he might have wiggled his way towards the first down. Looks like a little bit better vantage point from where you're at, Mark. There's look like a first, or they're going to have to measure, you think?
It's a first down there. Again, spread formation. They're running at high tempo, not letting the defense adjust too much to it. A lot of times everybody thinks the spread is just a throwing formation, but it really opens up the running lanes.
And they will move the chain, so 1st and 10, kind of pitch left. Number 33 been getting some work here early in the second half.
Nice little toss out of the spread formation again. Picks up 6 yards, puts him in a good down and distance in 2nd and 4.
So Billy Pitzner got in the end zone in the first half. He's probably hoping to make it in there again as the clock ticks down. As we're a couple of minutes into the 3rd quarter with the Redhawks driving once again with an already 14-0 lead. Bit of a high snap, tucks it down, hands it to good old number 33, who's just bullying his way through people and spinning around the ones he can't go through.
I wonder if Pitzner went into halftime and said, "Coach, I need the ball. Give me the rock. I'm ready to go." And last game of the season, potentially last game. A lot of people don't know it, though. The teams that don't make the WIA playoffs, they can play a 10th game if they can find a similar opponent that wants to play one more game. So this might not be their last one.
Okay, good to know. 1st and 10 for the Redhawks as they continue driving into Crusader territory. Number 8 gets the catch, and he's going to be approaching another first down for Milton. Take a look at the Prairie towing replay there.
Nice chunk yardage there on the inside bubble. Just come in that inside hitch, get some good blocking by your other receiver friends, and pick up 8-9 yards.
The A-1 Furniture Cheese Bowl continues with Milton hosting Edgewood. Phillips looking at the sideline one more time. His buddy number 33 to his left, and he pitches it to him. Oh, there's some good blocking there on the outside by some receivers. He might have got over the goal line there. Is it a touchdown or is it not?
It is a touchdown.
All right.
Nice little swing pass to him. The outside receiver just ran a quick slant, took the defender with him, Pisser did a little swing out of the backfield, quick little dart that Isaac Phillips threw to him, and he was able to dive in there, get the ball over the goal line for the touchdown.
Hey, and some nice blocking there. Good to see those receivers. Number 8, Mark Bodich, was helping out as well. So with an extra point, it'll put Milton up 21-zip. The snap is good. The hold is down, right down the uprights. 21-zip as Edgewood still looks to put a point on the board. They'll get another opportunity. One would think, unless there's another onside kick happening. Milton up 21-zip as we have 9:34 remaining in the third quarter. Don't forget, we'll have an MVP tonight. It's the Phil Anderson for Senate Most Valuable Player. A special thanks to Libertarian Phil Anderson. Running for U.S. Senate for Wisconsin, Phil is proudly showing his support for youth athletics and humbly inviting you to support his efforts to represent you. More from the A-1 Furniture Cheese Bowl in Milton next on Wisconsin's 57 Sports. Milton, a 21-zip lead with 9:34 remaining here in the third quarter. The A-1 Furniture and Mattress High School Bowl Series rolls on. We got great plaques to hang out for the MVPs. We got a big old bowl trophy to give to the winning team. Good to see another onside kick here. They're going to surprise us again, Mark?
Well, back-to-back negative plays for the Crusaders. Right before the half ended, they threw the interception in their own end zone, and then they bobbled the onside kick and gave the ball right back to the Redhawks to start the second half.
All right, more of a traditional kick here. It hits one of the upbacks in the chest. He kind of does a chest trap like I used to do in soccer back in high school.
That's number 35, Alex Brown. I actually coached him as a freshman at Madison Abundant Life. He transferred to Edgewood last year, and he's getting some playing time on the Edgewood team. Happy for him. Sure would have liked to have him for a fullback linebacker for us this year, but wish him well for the Crusaders.
Certainly. How's that Abundant Life team doing this year?
We're doing pretty good. We're 7-0 right now. We won the Grade 8 South Conference Championship, and we're headed to the Jamboree for the 8-player playoffs in a couple weeks.
Well, great. Congratulations. Good luck, Mark, to you and your club. In the meantime, the Crusaders of Edgewood got to get off the schneid here. They're in their own territory around about the 31-yard line.
But they just can't seem to finish drives. They get some momentum going. They have some big plays, and they haven't been able to punch it into the end zone here. And unless we're going to get a couple scores on the board, we certainly don't want to see another one of the Friday night blowouts we've been witnesses of all year.
No, we'd love to see the Crusaders kind of put some points on the board and get that critical momentum. And boy, did they lose a lot of momentum when they threw that pick right at the end of the first half. Could have been points, and then it turned out to be another goose egg. So
absolutely. Fred Richards really was their workhorse in between the tackles, running the ball really hard. And he's their number one threat right now. And then they have Darcy on the outside that they got to get involved in the game. But some play action might be in the works for these guys. But Richards is on the sideline right now.
All right, and Swita's in the shotgun. He's going to hand it off to number 22. That's Peyton Mondo. And he's going to lose yardage.
Tried to get to the edge there on the essentially the sweep to the right. The defensive end wasn't fooled at all. Nobody was able to get a hook block on him. He was able to penetrate into the backfield, force him into 4th and 8 and punting situation for the Crusaders.
And thanks to Kirsten Goggin, hometown team supporter. She's Dane County's premier realtor. Thanks to Century 21 affiliated realtor and broker Kirsten Goggin for another year of support. If you're buying or selling, visit kjsellsmadison.com and let her experience work for you. So 4th and 8 here. And it looks like the Crusaders are preparing to punt. Pretty deep in their own territory. High snap, good protection. Pretty decent boot, but the Redhawks will have a chance to return with number 7, scooting around the right corner. And it's going to be great field position for Milton as they get past midfield, and they're in Crusader territory, hoping to build on a 21-zip lead.
It's funny, at the high school level, Sean, you see players playing all over the place. So Fred Richards is the fullback, and he's back there punting the ball. He's a big, thick kid. You don't normally see that, but once in a while you'll see a lineman back there punting just because he happens to be the best one out of everybody on their team. Or you see a receiver long snapping, things like that at the high school level, always fun to see.
It sure is. A lot of two-way players. And Phillips back in at quarterback in the shotgun formation. Number 10 scooting around, and they're going to hand the ball off to him on an end around. But pretty good pursuit, I would say, by Edgewood there. Maybe a couple of yards for Milton.
Yeah, the jet sweep. If you don't get the edge right away and you can make them go parallel to the line of scrimmage, you can usually prevent that big gainer, and that's what the Crusaders defense did.
Mark, I know a lot of people familiar with you and your time with the University of Wisconsin. Jet sweep was kind of where we first saw Melvin Gordon III in a Badger uniform, wasn't it, a few seasons back?
It certainly was when they had all those good running backs, and they had to figure out a way to get him on the field, and he was able to do that, especially against Nebraska in that Big Ten championship game.
Absolutely. 6:55 remaining in the third, 2nd and 7. For the Redhawks, fake the handoff, and it's going to be a keeper up the middle. Might have surprised the Crusaders a little bit. A lot of yardage there.
Fake the sweep to the wide side of the field with the running back, and then have two linemen pulling, coming underneath and blocking for their quarterback, and he was able to run without getting touched there for several yards and get right up. I'm going to call it a first down. They're going to measure it, but I think he got it by the nose of the ball.
Okay, we'll take a peek at that. I want to thank our ladies for their great sideline reports today. They're brought to you by Dale's Heating and Air. We would like to thank our sideline report sponsor, Brian Olson at Dale's Heating and Air Conditioning, for supporting local high school athletics. Go to dalesheating.com to find out how you can get your dryer vents cleaned for free, putting your comfort first. And they are bringing out the chains.
Last week, I think I was about 0 for 5 on measurements. Let's see if I'm 1 for 1 this week.
Hey, high five for you. Nice
I'll
work.
take it.
There you go. Take it when you can get it, right? Thanks to Courtesy Ford of Sauk Prairie, helping us get that first down there. As the Redhawks continue to push forward, the Crusaders hoping to build a wall here and leave Milton stuck at 21, hopefully get the ball back and build some momentum. Isaac Phillips, there's the view from right behind him as he gets the snap and the shotgun snap, takes a peek at his wristband and tucks the ball under to number 1. Shifty going left and right and spinning. And it's going to take about half of that team of Crusaders to take him down.
And Sean, you mentioned the word momentum. It's so key in all sports, but especially at the high school level where the kids are 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old young men, and the momentum can shift so quickly. These are two evenly matched, physically matched teams, but you see the Redhawks have the momentum and able to take advantage of that, and the Crusaders are kind of back on their heels now. What could be a 21-0 game could easily be a one-score contest.
And number 1, we haven't seen quite as much of him tonight, Scott Manzer with the play there. He looks like he has a hitch in his giddy-up. He might be coming off the field here for a bit. It's kind of been Manzer and Pitzner at running back throughout the year. They both average about 4.5 yards per pop, and a pretty nice balanced backfield there.
Yep.
For the
Manzer, seniors, 5'9", 190-pound running back, carries a little pop, but also some quickness there, as we saw on that play, carrying some guys for 8-9 yards.
So it's going to be 2nd and short in the shotgun as Milton looks to build on that 21-zip lead. And the handoff scooting right. And it looks like he certainly got the first down and a few more yards.
44 Wall and 27 Roy.
Yeah, you only need 1 yard. And like you said, Billy's been averaging about 5 or 6 yards a carry. Give it to him and get the first down.
Certainly. Makes the coach look like a genius, doesn't he?
Sure does.
All right, shotgun snap. Phillips rolls right. Looks left and decides to pitch it back over there to, not too often you see big number 65 get a catch out of the backfield. And I tell you what, that's Miles Maxwell.
So 65, it's not an eligible number in high school or in the professional ranks or college. He'd have to declare himself eligible. But at the high school level, you don't have to declare yourself eligible. You just have to be the end guy on the line of scrimmage, and he was there, so made him an eligible receiver. He can throw the ball to him.
All right, good stuff. He's Mark Martinez. I'm Sean Smith. Thanks for joining us for the A-1 Furniture and Mattress Bowl Series continues. We are having a great time, and don't forget we'll be giving away the MVP plaque, and we'll be raising that Cheese Bowl trophy with the winning coach and his team afterwards. We will be right back from Milton with the Redhawks up 21-zip on the visiting Edgewood Crusaders. We'll have 5:18 remaining in the third quarter. What's coming up more with Wisconsin Sports on Channel 57. Welcome back to Anderson Field from Milton. It's the Redhawks up 21-zip over the Edgewood Crusaders. And get a bit of an injury on the sidelines right now. We just saw the player recently sit up, so it looks like he's going to be okay. And teams from both sides and fans putting their hands together as a sign of good sportsmanship. Nobody wants to see anybody's season end on the with an injury. So I believe that is at 58 or 28, it looks
28.
like. So as he's walking off the field, the Red Hawks will be looking to continue those chains, which have moved at a pretty good pace for them so far tonight.
It looks to be Christian Klitsky, 5'11", 180-pound senior linebacker, as they were chasing down the ball carrier there. Just a big pile up in the corner of the end zone there. Looks to be okay, though. He was down there for a while, but he's looking like he's walking off on his own power, and glad to see that.
There we go. And then a late flag being tossed in the air.
I wonder if they're going to be checking the eligibility of the receiver.
Okay. He's got a peek there at
ineligible
head coach
ineligible man downfield is what they're saying.
Okay. And as you can imagine, the Red Hawks coach, Matt Lee, not real happy about that call. So everybody trying to figure out what the heck is going on here, which way is up, as the Red Hawks hoping to build on a 21-zip lead, and a late flag going up there. Looks like an ineligible receiver is what we're hearing. So they just determining exactly where the ball's going here. In the meantime, I'm getting hungry. The Tailgating Show brought to you by Blowin' Smoke Barbecue in Wanakee, proudly supporting high school athletics, specializing in Kansas City-style barbecue, offering great dining service and catering for parties, large and small. That's Blowin' Smoke Barbecue, proud sponsors of the Tailgating Show. You see the pom-pom team and the cheerleaders out there keeping everybody excited as we kind of get everything figured out here with the officials and the late flags. Everybody doing their part to help fight breast cancer. That's where you see all the pink. And all the red is coming from the Red Hawks, who are hosting here in Milton tonight as our bowl series wraps up as they host the Edgewood Crusaders, who are on the far side of the field. And I think the referees are about getting us ready for action here. It's maybe a good chance for our viewers to hit the restroom or maybe pop a pizza in the oven there.
They had plenty of time to get a 15-minute take and bake in and out of the oven by now with this delay.
A little tongue-in-cheek there, I think, Mark. I like it. I like it. Having some fun here tonight. We wish all these seniors could go home winners, but somebody's going to have to win. So far tonight, Milton pitching a shutout, 21-zip, as we're about halfway through the third quarter.
They're unloading their playbook, Sean. They're just throwing out everything right now, having fun with their last game here.
Okay. And we're in the shotgun. 2nd and 15 after the penalty. The quarterback looking to his coach on the sidelines, trying to find a matchup they like. As the running back scoots over to the left side of his QB, and he drops back to pass. Looking deep down the seam, he's open. Oh, just missed him by a hair.
And Phillips knows he had him right there. He's pounding his helmet, going, oh, so close.
And you saw that wide receiver pulling away as well. Yeah, the QB's a little bummed out about that one. So that's going to move us to 3rd and 15 from the 25-yard line. See what they have up their sleeve. Isaac Phillips leading the Milton Red Hawks to a 21-zip lead so far. He's in the shotgun formation. Fakes the handoff. Ooh. Bit of a pass or a screen there, and it was well pursued, wasn't it, Mark?
It was. There's that tunnel screen, and the offensive lineman got out there in front, but they got out there too quick. They let the defensive lineman get towards the quarterback. There was nobody over blocking for the receiver on the tunnel screen, and defenders were able to gobble that up.
So I believe that moves us to 4th and long. 4th and 15, we'll call it, and they're going to go for it from deep in Edgewood territory. Even if you don't get the first down here, you're still forcing an Edgewood team to go a long ways when they haven't put anything up on the board. Nice job by the quarterback getting away from some rushing there, but number 8 not quite able to grab the pass underneath the uprights in the far end zone. So that means we'll turn things over on downs, right?
On target tonight. He had a couple of guys open on that series there for touchdowns if he delivers a strike there, but you know, he's throwing it 30, 40 yards in the air, so.
There you go, the Prairie Land Towing replay, as he did a nice job getting away from number 39, who I pretty much thought he had that quarterback took it down. And we'll give the Crusaders another shot here. They're still waiting to crack the scoreboard.
Yeah, if they're going to get into this game, Sean, I almost called you Rich, Sean, they're going to have to do something here on offense with a quarter and a little less than a half left to go in their season. They're going to put some points on the board pretty quick to get back in this thing.
Yeah, Rich Reynolds, I'm filling in for him today. I believe he's got the Madison Capitals opener at the Coliseum, so we're hopefully hoping he's having a great time there as well. Back to pass, ball's in the air. And it's going to be a first down. And there is some momentum you talked about. Number 3 getting the catch for the Crusaders, and that'll move the chains.
It's that quick slant again to Ryan Wiedenbeck that worked earlier in the game for him. So they just come back to one of their bread and butter routes and receptions. But again, you got to see if the Crusaders can put it all together and get in the end zone. They've been down in the red zone a couple of times, had some turnovers, so turned it over on downs. They got to continue to strike downfield and score to keep this thing interesting.
And hopefully they can build off that first down they just got there. Trips to the bottom of your screen, one up top, and they're giving it to the running back who was just bowling his way. Man, number 34. If we had a nickel for every time we said Fred Richards is just bullying everyone all over the place, we'd have a roll of nickels.
Just an old school name, too. Fred Richards.
I like it.
Fullback carrying the ball behind the big uglies. He's just running it in between the tackles. Nothing pretty about it, but he's certainly effective.
Certainly is. Always some big boys on those trenches, and we put a big running back behind him. Tough to tackle, especially if he gets a head of steam going. He's a big guy. Reminds me of Ironhead Hayward a little bit. Remember Hayward?
Strong boy, 235 pounds. Yeah, Ironhead Haywood for sure.
Yeah, for the Saints, I think.
Saints played maybe for St. Louis too there for a little bit.
Okay. And
it looks like we got a penalty on both teams.
Brought to you by
offsetting. Going to bring that back to the first and 10 again.
Thanks to O'Reilly Auto Parts for filling us in on the penalties throughout the season. When good enough doesn't cut it, head to O'Reilly's to find what you need to get the job done right. O'Reilly Auto Parts, helping perfectionists for over 50 years. Better parts, better prices every day.
It's been a relatively clean game so far for both teams. 3 penalties for Edgewood for 20 yards, 2 penalties for 20 yards for Milton.
So 1st and 10 for Edgewood. They drop back to pass. He avoids a rusher and has to roll left, and the pursuit just might get him. Oh, showing some nice wheels there.
Yeah, Swida had pressure up the gut. Wasn't able to corral him down. He was able to just scamper out there for 7 or 8 yards. Check that, more like 6.
And don't miss the chosen few plays of the game, offering classes in mixed martial arts, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, Thai boxing, and conditioning, and welcoming both veterans and beginners to join. That's Chosen Few Gym. So 2nd and 4. Shotgun snap, looking to pass the ball. They go left. It looks like it was tipped at the line, but I believe it was caught by number 4 still.
Yeah, defensive end, you know, oftentimes if they don't get that pressure and able to sack the quarterback, the defensive coach say, get your hands in the air, try to knock the ball down, and he tipped it a little bit, but the receiver was able to catch it.
Well, yeah, you'll notice the ref on our near side here by the press box said that was no good.
Huh.
And it looks like maybe they're going to call that an incompletion. When I saw the replay there, I thought he might have got his hands underneath it.
Looked like it from here, but he's a lot closer than us, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
It never helps to argue with the guys in the black and white. They always win.
Yeah. See if they can get this figured out. If it was an incomplete pass, it should be 3rd and 5. 3rd and 4.
So the A-1 Mattress and Furniture Bowl Series wraps up tonight with Milton hosting the Edgewood Crusaders and made the trip from Madison. And rude host so far, blanking the Crusaders 21-zip. It's 3rd and 4. And Edgewood will go out of the shotgun formation. Like a handoff up the middle. Maybe got to the line of scrimmage there. Not much going. You'd think they'd go for it on 4th, huh, Mark?
Well, the big guy is out there, the fullback. He's their punter, so it looks like I can't imagine they're not going to go for it here, Sean. They might as well. Again, last game of the season.
Yeah, give yourself a chance to get back in the game, right? Never know what can happen. So 4th and 4, and they'll take the snap and drop back. Ball's in the air. Number 14 is open, head to the middle of the field. He kind of gets give somebody a piggyback ride there for the Redhawks.
They finally go to the trip side. So the last couple of times they passed the ball, they went to the short side of the field, a single receiver on the left side. And this time when they need the first down, they go to the trip side and get it.
And number 14 with a nice play there. So 2:44 remaining in the third, 1st and 10 at the Milton 43. As Edgewood tries to get back in this contest. Nice pass, good rhythm going on there. And that receiver did not quite get knocked down. He kind of bounced back up.
Sweden's pass is complete to number 3, Wiedenbeck.
Ryan Wiedenbeck again. Looks like he's their leading receiver tonight, at least in the quantity of catches that he's had. He's been the go-to guy for Swida.
And Chris Darcy's been a little bit quieter than what we're used to. You brought up he had such great numbers last week and throughout the season.
4 touchdown catches last week, and he's been open a couple times tonight deep. He just hasn't been able to connect with him, so they go back to essentially the possession type receiver.
So 2nd and short here for Edgewood. We'll see if they go deep on 2nd and short. He's pursued and eventually taken down by number 65. A couple of his buddies got there first, but they weren't quite able to take down the Crusader quarterback. Fortunately.
And Darcy's been playing the inside receiver on that trips formation, so a lot of his routes have been outs or outs and ups. Those take a long time to develop, and Swida hasn't had all the time in the world to wait back there.
Could use a little bit more help from his big guys in the line there, give him a little bit more time. It moves it to 3rd and 8 with 2 minutes remaining in the third. Drops back to pass, huge pursuit. And the Red Hawk fans are pretty excited. Number 50 getting there first, but he had help from some friends as well.
Trying to set up the screen there, and you got to coach your offensive linemen. They got to hold those blocks longer. You can't just pat the guy and let him go. You got to at least give your quarterback a chance to throw that ball. And 3 or 4 linemen released their guys too early, and too much pressure is what it was taken down.
Hope you enjoyed the halftime show from Lexus of Madison. Todd Cadle and team at Lexus of Madison supports youth athletics and supports you, where the guests are as special as the cars. Visit Lexus of Madison and engage in the Lexus experience. Here's the punt for the Crusaders. It's going to bounce and look like getting close to the near sideline. It'll roll on out. I believe that's just inside the 30-yard line. Late flag getting thrown there.
Unnecessary roughness on actually the punt returner there as the ball was kind of settling out of bounds. He kind of just went up and chucked the guy to the ground 20 yards away from the action. Didn't really need to do it, and the ref was standing right there and caught him.
Okay, remember we have timeouts. Want to thank our friends from Northern Tool and Equipment. At Northern Tool and Equipment, there's no problem a little horsepower can't solve. Stop by their store off the West Beltline in Madison behind Culver's to access over 40,000 tools, or visit northerntool.com to sign up for great deals. Okay, going to be 1st and 10 as Edgewood looks to put their first points on the board. I think last time they were down this deep, they threw an interception right at the end of the first half, if I remember correctly, Mark.
For Edgewood, correct, when they were going into the end zone, but this is Milton's ball at the 15-yard line coming out, at actually the 10-yard line coming out.
That's right. Red and black have the ball here, calling the punt. And we'll see if they can build on that 21-point lead. See, do you keep doing what's working, Mark, here, or do you just kind of grind out the clock at this point in the game if you're Milton?
Well, they like that counter play that the quarterback ran, and also number 1 has run a number of times here. Scott Manzur able to follow his big lineman through that hole, and that's been their ground attack with him and Pitzner. But I don't think they're going to slow down throwing the ball here. They've been effective throwing it. Had a couple of guys open if the quarterback could hit them, and they'd be up by even more.
And 2nd and 6, shotgun formation. As Phillips looks to his sideline, going to make an adjustment, moves his running back to the right. And takes the snap. They'll try to run it up the gut. Bouncing a little bit. And all right, so 3rd and 6. As the clock is going tick-tock, which works to the host Red Hawks' advantage, who are nursing a 21-zip lead here over the visiting Edgewood Crusaders. We'll see if Phillips is going to get a play in here before the end of the third. He does, takes the shotgun snap. They're going to run it one more time up the middle. It's to number 1. Seems like Manzur's been getting the ball a little bit more here in the second half as opposed to Pitzner, who you talked about a lot in the first half, Mark.
Yeah, Pitzner has 2 touchdowns for the Red Hawks tonight, and he's not even in the game. I don't know if he's dinged up or if number 1 has just been running the ball a little bit more in the second half. He's got a little bit of momentum, a little bit of juice going.
We will be right back for the fourth quarter. First, we're going to head on down and talk to the ladies. We've got Ellen and Janet on the sideline with a report for you.
Thanks, Sean. This is a Dale's Heating and Air Conditioning Sideline Report. With me, I have the Milton Band Director. This is Nate Pierce. Thanks for taking a minute here with me, Nate.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. So I got a chance to watch your band perform at halftime a little bit. It took me back to the days of my marching band days and trying to hurry to get to your mark or make your steps smaller because you're getting there too soon and that kind of thing. It was really, really fun to watch. Enough about me, though. How long have you been directing the band?
This is my 8th year at Milton, so my 18th year teaching overall. I came from UW-Madison, so yeah, I'm really excited to be here. The kids are great, so we do a lot of stuff here.
So speaking of stuff that you do, you're a competitive band, and you've got a big event coming up this weekend.
Yeah, we have our state competition tomorrow. This is our 6th competition we've done this fall. Band's been doing really good. They have 3 firsts and a second under their belt so far, so we're really excited about tomorrow and see what we can do against some of the best bands in the state. So,
kind of a fun thing we were talking about. I think of the band as in football games, maybe basketball games, but you do other stuff too.
Sure, we try to support a lot of the athletics here at Milton. We do swimming and lots of other stuff too that not necessarily everybody else does. So
yeah, you said like volleyball and hockey. Gosh, that's really neat. That's great that you support all of the teams like that.
Yep. So we try to keep the kids involved. So.
All right. So I gave you a little snippet about my band experience. Tell us a little bit about your marching history.
I went to UW-Madison and marched with Mike Leckrone for 4 years, but I didn't get to go to the Rose Bowl, so that was the 4 years in between, so it's too bad. But
still, you got to experience the legend. Thanks, yep. Thanks. Nate Pierce with Milton is the high school band director. Back to the game, guys.
Okay, thanks so much. Those sideline reports from Dale's Heating and Air as the Milton Redhawks get the ball with 3rd and 5 here, 10:55 remaining here at Anderson Field. Hoping to put more points up there. The crowd's sticking around here. A little bit chilly, perfect for fall football in my humble opinion. As they roll towards us, it's a completed pass, gets bumped out of bounds. I think it'll be enough to move the chains.
So they have Travis Barb in the game at tailback. He's run the ball a couple of times out of that pistol formation. He's a small little 5'9", 165-pound running back, but scored a touchdown earlier on the pass. He's a slot receiver as well, and they go back to the slot formation.
Okay, shotgun formation. It's the handoff up the middle. No, excuse me, that play action fake certainly fooled me as the quarterback, Isaac Phillips, scoots around right in and got himself a couple of yards.
Trying to get everybody involved tonight, it looks like. Again, Pitzner scored 2 touchdowns in the first half. He hasn't had a lot of action here in the second half, but other guys are getting involved. And they are going all through their playbook tonight and just unloading everything for this last game.
Hoping to get everybody involved, as you mentioned, which is always nice. And there's the bit of a pitch pass, you could say. A screen on 2nd and 9. I don't think it's going to get on the first down, but shoot, it'll probably bring them to a 3rd and short situation. But I think some hankies are coming in late.
I didn't see quite what happened there, but that was a quick little swing pass, almost essentially a toss out of the backfield there to get the back mans are out in space, and not sure what the marker's for.
Yeah, trying to take a peek here.
Somebody's banged up a little bit for the Redhawks on the sideline as well.
Babes Bar and Grill, the official watch party for all of Wisconsin sports. Watch all your favorite sports, including the tonight game and the entire high school bowl series, along with all Badgers, Packers, Bucks, and Brewers games at Babes Bar and Grill. Always great game day specials, always a great time. And when I go over there, Mark, I usually end up going across the street and do a little miniature golfing.
There you go.
Are you a miniature golfer, or do you like to hit the links and do the real thing?
I like to hit the links, but not very good at it. So I don't get out as often as I should, but when I do, it's always a good time.
Yeah, it certainly is, even if you're just kind of out there doing more chasing than actually hitting it where you want to, right?
Always have a lot of balls in your bag for sure when you go golfing with me.
Yeah, I was telling my buddies, I was looking at my golf bag, and I'm like, you know, I think I got a used pair of clubs with a bag for like $45 from Played Against Sports 15 years ago. I think it might be time for an upgrade.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, he's Mark Martinez, excuse me. I'm Sean Smith. We continue with the A-1 Furniture and Mattress High School Bowl Series. Milton up 21-zip over Edgewood. We'll be right back on Wisconsin's 57 Sports. Back to Anderson Field, the Redhawks of Milton hosting the Edgewood Crusaders. Milton currently up 21-zip, and it looks like they're going to be, are they moving the chains here? It appears so. Injury is off the field, and we're ready for more football here momentarily. 10:25 remaining in the fourth, and what we're anticipating final quarter, as a lot of seniors hoping to go home with a W. Currently, it looks best for the Redhawks of Milton up 21-zip over the Edgewood Crusaders.
15-yard penalty there, Sean, for the Crusaders on the tackle there, helmet-to-helmet contact. And Manzur's on the sideline. Looks like he's okay, but he got hit in the head, dinged a little bit. They're putting him, I'm sure, through the concussion protocol. As you know, head injuries and concussions are high priority for everybody in football.
Yeah, we said earlier he had a bit of a hitch in his giddy up too, so hopefully he's going to be okay. Here is a shotgun snap, dropping back to pass. Pressure coming up the middle, had to throw it a little sooner than he wanted to, and I think that resulted in an incompletion. Just sometimes it's not necessarily getting to the quarterback, but if he can make him get rid of it a little sooner than he wants to, right?
Right. Let him get hurried up in his delivery. His footwork's not quite where it needs to be. Threw it a little bit behind his receiver. Otherwise, he hits him in stride. He could still be running.
He's Mark Martinez. I'm Sean Smith. 2nd and 10 for the host, Milton Redhawks. And Phillips gets it in the shotgun. He hands it to 33 up the middle.
There we go. Billy Pissner back in the game, catching the toss to the short side of the field. He's able to cut it back and get a few yards on his own, running around and over a couple of Crusader defenders.
Yeah, the Manzer-Pitsner combination at running back has been successful for Milton so far tonight. That brings us to 3rd and 5 as the click clock's down to 9.5 minutes remaining, with the Redhawks hoping to add to a 21-zip lead. Oh, nice play action fake there. Going to hit 33 out of the backfield. Good for a couple. Looks like it'll be 4th and short. Do you play the field position game here and just punch it away, or you just go for it?
You got to go for it. You're up three scores, even if they get the ball back. They haven't shown that they can get it into your end zone, so you might as well go for it. Keep your players on the field, keep getting the ball into playmakers' hands and marching down the field here.
Been pretty spot on so far, Mark. We'll see if you are again. Another shotgun snap, couple of running backs. It's 4th and 3.
Double count. Trying to get him to jump off sides.
4th and 3, 5 yards would give him a first down. And here's the snap. More play action, though. This could be trouble for Milton. He's got to get rid of it. Ooh, that ball was in the air, and it looks like the whoever was covering him got there a little bit early, didn't he?
Little bit early.
Kind of
bumped
bumped it.
At first, it looked like it was good defense, but actually, they're going to call the flag off. They say the ball was tipped.
Oh, okay.
Which negates the early contact by the defender. It's going to be Crusaders' ball.
All right, well, that's certainly a positive for Edgewood as they're looking for some momentum. You don't have too much when you end up with a goose egg on the board and you're halfway through the 4th quarter, almost halfway through. So we'll see what Edgewood can put together. Speaking of football, don't miss college football on Channel 57 Sports. It's every Saturday starting at 11 a.m. Watch next Saturday's regional matchup. Boston College taking on the Big Orange of Syracuse Saturday, October 22nd. Kickoff is at 11 a.m. on Channel 57 Sports. So here we go, the Crusaders with 8:33 remaining, down 21-zip. They're going to go to pass the ball. He's looking deep down the seam. He's got a player. Oh, my goodness. And 81's probably not going to have too nice of a chat with his quarterback there. That one was pretty much put on the money there, Mark, wasn't it?
That certainly was, and that was a backup quarterback in for the Crusaders. Thomas Hartley, number 7, 5'10", 155 pounds, sophomore quarterback, put the ball right on the money. Number 81, Drake Brent. He's a junior. They're going to be a good combination next year, but couldn't quite gather it in there. And they had something, but I guess it's better that they didn't complete it because there's a penalty for the Crusaders and would have got called back anyway.
So both teams shuffling in some players, going deep into the depth chart in what could be the last game of the season. 21-zip.
Okay, yeah, I know, Jim.
Milton currently. And the Crusaders take the snap. They're going to run up the gut this time. Good for a couple. as the Redhawks may be just happy with the clock going tick, tick, tick. They'll probably let the Crusaders run it anytime they want.
Yeah, well, that sophomore quarterback, Thomas Hartley, I played with his uncle Andy Hartley for the University of Wisconsin. Andy was a linebacker, and his brother was a quarterback at the University of Iowa. They played against each other a couple of times.
Oh, really? Great stuff. Quarterback kind of pitching it to the left, and his running back slipping a little bit.
Yeah, Jim Hartley was a quarterback at Iowa. They're from Illinois, if I recall correctly, but one time when Iowa was playing us at Camp Randall, Jim was running in at the 5-yard line. He had to run over his brother Andy to get to the end zone, and he did.
Really?
And Andy never let that down, but good memories for sure.
They probably talk about that at the Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner table, huh?
Oh, I'm sure they do.
So it'll be 3rd and 18 for the Crusaders. Less than 7.5 minutes remaining. They're down 21-zip. It'd be nice to see them make a play or two and make a contest out of this one. Good pursuit coming off the right edge. That young quarterback tried to slide step it, but unable to. It'll be a sack. And that'll move you to 4th and just too many.
Yeah, this is one of those 4th downs where you're going to have to punt for sure, obviously. So they bring in the big kid, Fred Richards, to punt the ball away. His punting average is pretty high tonight. I think he's had 2 50-yard punts, and I'm sure he's hoping he can get another one here.
You brought up how big he was before. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Sebastian Janikowski for the Raiders.
Thick kickers, yeah.
Right.
Or the punter from Penn State, number 99, has been shown on ESPN highlights a lot. Big, chunky kicker punter.
So 4th and 27, going to have to punt way back in their own territory. Almost a bit of a rugby punt there. I don't know if it was just because the snap went a little bit to the right, but it's going to take a Crusader bounce and get somewhere around the 36 or 35 of Milton. Well, they'll try to add on to their lead. Currently 21-zip. Paul Revere's Pizza. We had some tasty food before we started today. Jeff Aston of Paul Revere's Pizza is a proud supporter of the Milton Redhawks. Call 868-4999 or stop by 144 Merchant Row for the best specialty pizzas, pastas, salads, and oven-baked sandwiches. Paul Revere's Pizza in Milton. Revolutionary home delivery. Okay, Redhawks getting the ball again here for Milton. And it's 1st and 10 from their own 36.
So Redhawks are keeping their starting offense in.
Just going to say, looks like Phillips still there at quarterback. The Cheese Bowl is up for grabs today. Winning coach going to have fun post-game and get himself a big Cheese Bowl trophy. Been giving away that trophy for each of our bowl games all season long with our friends from A-1 Furniture and Mattress and this high school bowl series. Milton fans starting to think that this one might be locked up as we hit the halfway point of the 4th quarter with less than 6 minutes remaining. 2nd and 6 in the shotgun formation. They'll hand it up the middle. Number 27 getting the carry. I think that's a running back we haven't seen yet today. Jackson Everett.
Jackson Everett it is. At tailback getting the last 2 carries. They're again getting everybody involved. Primarily the seniors obviously on their last game on their home field.
Hey, don't forget, we'll also have the chosen few plays of the game upcoming a little bit later. And we'll also give away that MVP trophy brought to you by Phil Anderson for Senate. All right, 1st and 10, rolling out. It's going to be a keeper. He decides to run out of bounds.
You know, this will be a great memory for these Milton Redhawks seniors to go out winners on their home field. They didn't have the greatest season in the world, but they're going to finish with a win here against a quality opponent and remember their last high school game as a great victory.
And for the Edgewood Crusaders, you hope that they make a couple plays here and hopefully get on the board. No fun end of the season with a goose egg there. 2nd and 4. Taking a peek at his wristband as we take the shotgun snap. He pumps. He's looking deep down the right sideline. Boy, that is a nice spiral, nice ball down there. A big receiver, number 86. Looked kind of like a bowling ball with spikes on, making the catch on the sideline.
Griffin Allen, another senior, number 86 tight end, 6 foot, 195-pounder. Again, the staple of the spread offense. You got the hitch on the outside. You run that all night long for 5-6 yards every time, and then you hit the hitch and go a couple of times and get your guys some big chunk yardage.
So that'll give you 1st and goal about the 5. Phillips throws a nice deep ball, doesn't he?
He certainly does.
Yeah.
Going to hand that off. And number 27 getting another carry.
Jackson Everett, the ball carrier.
And Jackson Everett, again, is a senior, probably third, maybe four-string tailback. We've seen a lot of their running backs cycle through their offense, and they're looking to get him a touchdown here. He probably hasn't scored a lot this year, but I bet you they'll be excited if he gets it in the end zone.
So perhaps they'll keep pounding it up the middle as 27 stays in the game behind his quarterback. So we get ready for the shotgun snap. Looks again at the sidelines as the Crusaders wait to see what happens. And 2nd and goal. And the Redhawks give it to 27. As he mentioned, they'd love to see him get a touchdown. Maybe got to the line of scrimmage there. Didn't seem like there was much.
Not a lot going there. Ran the toss to the short side of the field. And the Crusaders just were able to flow down the line of scrimmage and tackle him before he could get any momentum going upfield. You can see why Isaac Phillips has been successful throwing the ball deep, even though, you know, we're down here in the red zone there. You look across the Crusader defense, they don't have any safety help over the top. So essentially all those routes are one-on-ones. If you can get behind a guy, you're going to be open, and they were successful several times with that tonight.
Makes sense. It'll be 3rd and goal for the red-jerseyed Redhawks. They give it to 27 again. Is he going to get in there? I think he's just shy.
He's probably good 2 yards from the end zone right about here. So.
Well, kicking a field goal right here is no fun, right?
No, they're going to go for it, and we'll see if they can get in the ball on the edge or maybe on a counter. Now they're bringing in 10.
We've seen him get some carries as well.
There he goes.
Did he make it in there?
No, they're not. They're saying he was stopped short.
So the Crusaders, something to build off of.
Stop short of the goal line.
It looks like they might have to go 99 and a half yards.
99 and a half yards, yeah.
So if it wasn't tough so far,
set a
being
new
shut
state
out,
record.
You got to go 99 and a half yards. Well, you can't say they didn't try to get number 27 going. They tried.
They gave him the ball 4 straight times, and the kid just didn't quite get in there. Looked like he.
He's probably going to holler at his offensive lineman a little bit.
Well, if you go back to the replay on that, he collided with his quarterback on getting the ball.
So we'll get set for 1st and 10 at about their own 1. The Crusaders. Let's see him make some things happen here. What kind of... let's see if they can get some points on the board. They're going to look... Oh, that would have been a tough catch. Looked like maybe it went over the wrong shoulder. And that'll move it to 2nd down and 10. You drop back too far in this situation, you end up running out of your own end zone. Will they look for a little bit of breathing room as it's 2nd and 10, or try to sling it and make a play? Blow and Smoke Barbecue with a great tailgating show. Blow and Smoke Barbecue in Wanakee, proudly supporting high school athletics, specializing in Kansas City-style barbecue, offering great dining service and catering for parties large and small. And there's the snap on 2nd down and 10.
Gave it to the big fella, Fred Richards again. Tried to get out from the shadow of their own goalpost there.
Kind of get a little room to breathe, right?
Absolutely. Last thing you want is to get sacked and a safety here, and you know, then you're licking your wounds even more. So
certainly. So we're getting close to 2 minutes remaining. 2:38, 2:37. 3rd and 5. The Crusaders hoping for one last gasp at putting some points on the board, but they're going to have to go about 95 more yards as we're here 3rd and 5. Takes the snap, rolls right, and a couple of receivers kind of in the same area there, and unable to come up with the catch.
Yeah, the outside receiver running kind of an in route, and the fullback was running into the flat and not sure who that ball was directed to. It was a little bit too tall for one, a little too short for the other, and now it's 4th down. Looks like they're probably going to kick it away.
Even saw kind of an interesting play with the Packers last week where Devontae Adams, the ball was so high up in the air, he thought it must be thrown to somebody else. But we're not. That Aaron Rodgers guy doesn't seem as accurate as he's been in the past. And anything you can identify there?
You know, you really don't know. I don't know if he just doesn't trust his receivers right now. He's had plenty of time. You know, they were clocking his release times, and he had all kinds of time to throw the ball. And his receivers, I don't know if he just doesn't trust them enough to try to throw it where they're supposed to be, or they're not able to get separation from the defenders. And, you know, we talked about the Packers having a great receiving core over the last few years. I'm not sure they're as good as people think.
Yeah,
you know,
they
look good on paper, but there's not a lot of space between them and the defenders the last 2 years.
Yeah, we learned a lot with Jordy Nelson being out. All right, here we go. 2:24 remaining. It's Edgewood being blanked 21-0 by the host Middleton Redhawks. We'll have more of the A1 Furniture and Mattress High School Bowl Series next on Wisconsin's 57 Sports. Looks like it's 4th and 5 for the Crusaders. 2:24 remaining in this contest. Thanks to all the fans and coaches and viewers who have all supported the A1 Furniture and Mattress High School Bowl Series for us. Got a great MVP plaque to give away. The winning coach, of course, will get that beautiful cheese bowl.
They're going for it.
Yeah, it looks like they're originally going to punt, but it looks like they're going to go for it now. As Mark Martinez mentioned, and he's going to gun it. Bit of a sidewinding pass there. Relatively on target, but it didn't look like 14 could corral it.
Well, he had see just what the Redhawks do here. You got 2 minutes and 19 seconds to go. I mean, you can't take a bunch of knees on it here at the, where are they, at the 7-yard line? See if they try to get the ball back into number 27's hands, see if they can get him in the end zone.
Certainly.
Or what sort of tactician the coach takes here.
So Jackson Everett is who they were trying to get in the end zone on the last possession.
He's not even out there right now, so forget everything that I just said.
That just happens that way sometimes, huh? Ethan Hansing, number 10's been getting the ball a bit in the he's pretty good at catching the ball as well. So 5 still there. Isaac Phillips gets the snap, hands it off up the middle. Not much there for Manzer, who's had a couple of issues. It looked like he had a leg issue, and then he said they're looking at his head a little bit earlier.
They were looking at his head. I'm surprised they put him back in the game, but obviously, the trainers, doctors on the sidelines took a look and said he was okay, and he's back out there. And they're a line shift here with a bunch of new linemen coming in, so they're probably letting the seniors come out to the applause they deserve for sure.
Certainly, and the Red Hawk fans standing up and cheering on Milton. And the Edgewood fans across the way a little dejected in the performance from their club today, but we'd like to cheer on their seniors as well.
Absolutely, good effort on their end. They just couldn't convert when they needed to, both right before the half and a couple of the drives that they had. They just weren't able to get it into the end zone. But like we said, 2 evenly matched teams. The Redhawks just had a little bit more motivation on their last game and their home field, and were able to convert when the Crusaders were not.
Certainly, we'll have a great post-game show upcoming for you, so please make sure that you're sticking around. Stay seated at the conclusion of tonight's game for the 2016 A1 Furniture Cheese Bowl Trophy, brought to you by Channel 57 Sports. It will be replayed on Channel 57 Sports Saturday at 6 p.m. as well as Sunday at 1 p.m. on 57 Sports. 2:08 remaining here from Anderson Field. And the Redhawks, will they build on the lead? As you said, there's a little too much time remaining to just take some knees, right? And they get 27 back in there, Mark. But I think the white shirts knew where that ball was going, didn't they?
They absolutely did, and obviously they know they're just going to run the ball, so they just all-out run blitz to try to shut them down. They don't want to see the Redhawks score again for sure, so they're trying everything they can do to stop them from doing that. So Redhawks might either want to mix something up or go to the knee.
A1 Furniture and Mattress, our presenting sponsor. Thank you to Mr. Paul Canarella. Cool to hear from him at halftime, and the good people over at A1 Furniture for supporting high school athletics again this season as our official Bowl Series sponsor. A1 Furniture and Mattress, your premier mattress and furniture store. Looks like 3rd and goal. Number 10's got the ball going around the right side. He jumps in the air. A little dangerous to do that there, especially when you're a little guy.
Yeah, and actually at the high school level, you're not supposed to jump or hurdle defenders. I mean, and most of it is for safety reasons. But that wasn't that bad. But you definitely don't want to see somebody get hurt on a play like that.
That is for sure. So that moves it to 4th and 6 as the final minute ticks off the clock. Stick around. We got a great post-game show going on for you. We'll see who gets that MVP plaque. And the winning coach looks like it's going to be the Milton Redhawks. Just the only question what the score is going to be, and it looks like it might be 21-0 as they weren't able to hit pay dirt on 4th down. So we've got 41 seconds remaining.
Well, Edgewood's got 3 timeouts here, so I'm not looking for them to throw a bunch of Hail Marys here, but I could see them doing something similar to what the Red Hawks did. Get their seniors out on the field, one last play, take a timeout, let the seniors come off and get an applause by their crowd, and then put their backups in for the last take a knee or two.
Dale's Heating and Air has brought us our Sideline Reports. We'd like to thank our Sideline Report sponsor, Brian Olson at Dale's Heating and Air Conditioning, for supporting local high school athletics. Go to dalesheating.com to find out how you can get your dryer vents cleaned for free, putting your comfort first. 41 seconds remaining. The Edgewood Crusaders. Their quarterback behind center. It's the pitch, heading right and up the middle, and a pretty nice run there. And holy cow, he's breaking some tackles and breaking it to the outside. He's got one man to beat. Can number 7 get him? Looks like he kind of had the angle there, but as you said, Mark, you kind of see what you can get. Now you get out to the midfield, maybe you take a couple shots at the end zone.
28 seconds at the 48-yard line. Now, why not?
Sure.
You got 3 timeouts left. You want to get some points on the board. You don't want to end your season, like you said, with the goose egg. Give it a shot. You can't take those timeouts with you in the offseason.
Can't put them in your pocket and bring them next year, that's for sure. Also, don't miss the Chosen Few plays of the game. Chosen Few Gym offering classes in mixed martial arts, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, Thai boxing, and conditioning, and welcoming both veterans and beginners to join. That's Chosen Few Gym.
Oh, and just as we say that, they turn it over.
Did we give him the kiss of death? We just might have.
Just went with a toss on the opposite side, and he just couldn't gather it in.
And it looks like the Red Hawks might have fallen on that bad boy, huh?
That's kind of apropos for the whole night for how it has been for the Crusaders. They have one good play, and then the next one they kind of shoot themselves in the foot, turn it over, have a penalty, and slow their own momentum.
Kind of the story of my life. 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards.
I think we're all in that boat at one point or another in our lives, Sean.
We certainly are. All right, Milton up 21-zip on Edgewood and the Crusaders. And it looks like the victory formation, every coach that has the ball's favorite setup, right?
Absolutely.
Taking a knee. And the pitch to the referee as the clock will tick down to 20 seconds. Don't forget, we'll have the Anderson for Senate Most Valuable Player. We'll also have the Chosen Few plays of the game. And we will do our best to talk to head coach of Milton, Coach Lee. Going to be excited to talk about a victory as the teams line up and do the handshakes, which is part of the great sportsmanship of high school football. I want to thank the fans and the coaches and certainly the student athletes that have put it on the line for us today here on Wisconsin 57 Sports. We've got our sideline ladies down there, Ellen and Janet. We'll talk to the crew. We'll hand out that MVP plaque. We'll see the excitement on the coach and players' faces when we give them the Cheese Bowl trophy. That and more. The A-1 Furniture and Mattress High School Bowl Series continues. We'll be back next on Wisconsin's 57 Sports. Welcome back. The A-1 Furniture and Mattress Bowl Series continues as we put the wraps on an awesome season. A very jubilant Milton Red Hawks team as well as fan base with a 21-zip win over the Edgewood Crusaders. I'm Sean Smith with Mark Martinez, and I suppose it's about time to look at those very critical key plays in the game that determine the difference. We like to call it the Chosen Few Gym, Chosen Few Plays of the game. All right, Mark, let's take a peek here. What do you see happen here as the ball goes to number 3 for the Red Hawks?
Isaac Phillips throwing the ball to Noah Phillips, his twin brother, on that hitch route that we saw worked to perfection on a number of plays for the Red Hawks.
And then we'll follow it up with number 33, kind of plowing in up the middle to hit pay dirt. And Phillips dropping back to pass here.
Another hitch route, good blocking by the wide receiver to spring him. Then he just makes several guys miss, outruns several, breaks some tackles, keeps going for more there.
Yeah, very, very nice performance there, breaking tackle after tackle. And here he drops back to pass.
Travis Barb open on the post route right before halftime, put him up 14-0.
And this is a beautiful effort here to get to the corner, get to the pylon. I wasn't sure if he made it in, but the rest put those hands in the air.
Billy Pitzner, the team MVP tonight. And again, here's the hitch and go. caught nicely over the shoulder there by the tight end down to the 5-yard line, set up another score for the Red Hawks.
Yeah, pretty good size there on that sideline too to get that ball. And here he goes scooting up the sideline. This was an impressive play. A lot of explosion.
Yeah, how exciting is that? One brother throwing to another. Mom and Dad have to be happy in the crowd.
Certainly some good genes going on in that Phillips family, huh?
Absolutely.
Okay, and here we get one last look at all those beautiful broken tackles there by number 19 from the Milton Red Hawks. Those are the chosen few plays of the game. Man, we got to find out who was the MVP trophy winner. That's coming up in just a moment. Remember, Phil Anderson for Senate presents the most valuable player. A special thanks to Libertarian Phil Anderson running for U.S. Senate for Wisconsin. Phil is proudly showing his support for youth athletics and humbly inviting you to support his efforts to represent you. Let's take it down to the sideline on Wisconsin 57 Sports.
Welcome to the conclusion of the A-1 Furniture Bowl Series. Tonight was the Cheese Bowl where the Milton Red Hawks shut out the Edgewood Crusaders 21-0. We have some awards to give away tonight, Ellen, don't we?
We do. We have the big A-1 Furniture, and this is the Cheese Bowl trophy, and we'll be handing that out a little bit later. But first, we have our MVP award, and that's sponsored by Phil Anderson for U.S. Senate. And tonight, that award is going to number 33, Pitzner. Great game, 2 touchdowns. Congratulations. Congratulations. Stay tuned. We'll be back. We'll present the A-1 Furniture Cheese Bowl trophy right after this. Yeah.
This is the conclusion of the A-1 Furniture Bowl Series. Tonight was the Cheese Bowl right here in Milton, Wisconsin, where the Red Hawks shut out the Edgewood Crusaders 21-0. So not only are they taking home bragging rights, but they're going to take home the bowl trophy as well. Isn't that right, Ellen?
They are, and this is a huge trophy. I mean, I wish you could be here to feel it for yourself. It's very heavy. So tonight we're presenting this to Coach Lee of Milton. Congratulations, Coach. Here you go.
Thank you.
We're going to turn it over to Sean and Mark. They're going to ask the coach a few questions.
All right, thanks so much. Coach, congratulations for starters. You're not cold at all in those shorts, are you?
No, not at all.
Now, hey, your first year leading the charge here. Great to end with a win, I'm sure, especially for those seniors. Reflect on your first full year here as a coach at Milton.
Yeah, I was pretty blessed to have a great group of seniors all year. Football didn't bounce our way sometimes, and, man, they just kept fighting the entire year.
Coach, you had a couple big momentum-changing plays there at the end of the first half, the interception in the end zone, and then you started out the second half with the onside kick. Talk about your strategy coming out after halftime.
Yeah, we'd been practicing that one since day one, and we felt like if we got that one right there, we could probably put them away.
Might as well use it when you can.
Yep.
All right, congratulations to Milton and the Red Hawks. Get the big W, 21-0. Over the Edgewood Crusaders. Congratulations to Coach. Thanks for Mark Martinez. I'm Sean Smith, our lovely sideline reporters. Everybody that's been working so hard. Congratulations. They're going home winners. That's what it's all about. Thanks so much for watching us the entire season on the A-1 Furniture and Mattress Bowl Series here. Saying goodbye from Anderson Field. For Mark Martinez, I'm Sean Smith and Wisconsin 57 Sports.